Chapter 51, Golden Horned Beast, Mithril Guards. Underground Training Room. The alloy door closed, cutting off all sounds from the outside world. Ning sat cross-legged, his consciousness sinking into the system space. Open black lens bracket Golden Horned Beast Original Embryo close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Description close black lens bracket. An original embryo of a golden horned beast that has not yet birthed a consciousness, retaining complete legacy memories and innate secret techniques. The host may choose to bind it, turning the golden horned beast into their second clone. The planetary level, universe rank, and world lord rank clone secret techniques are retained. One may also choose to gift it to others to perform possession in coordination with relevant secret techniques. Open black lens bracket Note close black lens bracket. The golden horned beast is one of the 12 peak bloodlines of the starry sky behemoths. It reaches the peak of the world lord rank upon reaching adulthood. After binding, the clone will share a soul symbiosis and life with the host. Binding requires a certain amount of time, please consider carefully. Ning's heart skipped a beat. A golden horned beast. One of the 12 peak bloodlines of the starry sky behemoths. Reaching the peak of the world lord rank at adulthood, only one step away from the undying realm. Even many undying powerhouses in the universe might never see a golden horned beast in their entire lives, let alone possess one. Give it away. What a joke. Even undying existences in the universe would fight frantically over a golden horned beast embryo. He was only at the planetary level, yet the system had directly dropped a golden horned beast for him. He would have to be out of his mind to choose to give it away. Regardless, Ning was truly happy. He never imagined that simply having his first planetary level descendant born would unlock a golden horned beast. In this way, even if the system didn't output any more rewards to increase his strength later on, Ning would have enough to run rampant across Azure relying on the golden horned beast alone. The king beasts within the North Pole realm circle. Let's see if they can even take one of my claws first. When the time comes, all difficulties will no longer be difficulties, instead, they will become extremely rare growth nutrients for the golden horned beast. The only problem was that by then, the combined nutrients of all the monsters on Azure might not be enough to support both the cloud-caressing vine and the golden horned beast at the same time. Consider it a happy problem, Ning comforted himself. But after calming down, Ning decided to use up his lottery attempts. Open black lens bracket Physical close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Technique close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Artifact close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Other close black lens bracket. The pointer stopped, landing on open black lens bracket Other close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Planetary level 4th stage guards ×2 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Description close black lens bracket. Crafted from a special mithril alloy with an internal intelligent combat core, capable of performing various tasks such as defense, attack, and reconnaissance. The host can remotely control them through matching secret techniques or set them to autonomous combat mode. Open black lens bracket Note close black lens bracket. The guards do not possess biological characteristics and are unaffected by psychic power attacks. Planetary level 4th stage. This isn't bad either, after all, it's just a regular lottery draw, not a critical hit reward. It seems the rewards obtained from the lottery are linked to my own realm. Milestone-like reward unlocks, on the other hand, don't seem to be linked to realm. Ning briefly mentioned the preparation plans for the North Pole realm circle to the 4 women before choosing to enter seclusion again. Bind. Ning made the decision without hesitation. A prompt popped up on the system panel. Open black lens bracket Golden horned beast embryo binding in progress. Estimated time, 30 days. During the binding period, the host must maintain a conscious state, it cannot be interrupted. Close black lens bracket. 30 days. Ning took a deep breath. 30 days without eating, drinking, or sleeping was nothing for a planetary-level martial artist, but during these 30 days, his main body would be in a defenseless state and required someone to act as a protector. Mo Yun. He called out the cloud-caressing vine. The cloud-caressing vine poked its head out from his collar, the golden patterns on the vine shimmering slightly in the darkness. After half a year of settling and digesting, it had firmly reached the third stage of the planetary stage, becoming significantly stronger than before. I'm going into seclusion for a while, Ning patted its vine, keep me safe. The cloud-caressing vine wrapped around his arm, sending a firm thought, don't worry, master. Ning then took out the mithril guards from the system space, activated them, and set them to guardian mode. Two silver-white metal giants stood silently on either side of the training room, their deep blue eyes scanning the surroundings as they entered a state of alert. Mo Yun, here's a Muya crystal for you first. Ning took out a Muya crystal from the system space and handed it to the cloud-caressing vine, I'll give you another one when I finish my seclusion. The cloud-caressing vine's tendrils danced joyfully, wrapping around the Muya crystal and greedily absorbing the energy within. Master is the best. Ning sat cross-legged in the center of the training room and closed his eyes. His consciousness sank into the system space. The golden horned beast embryo floated in the void realm, pitch black all over and covered in golden patterns. The moment Ning's psychic power touched the embryo, a massive flow of information flooded into his mind. Legacy memories, innate secret techniques, combat instincts, everything about the golden horned beast opened up to him at this moment. The binding began. For the first 10 days, Ning's consciousness traveled through the golden horned beast's legacy memories. He saw the origin of the golden horned beast, a peak bloodline among the starry sky behemoths, an ancient race that had existed since the beginning of the universe. They lived by devouring stars and used the universe as their hunting ground, becoming invincible existences upon reaching adulthood. The birth of every golden horned beast was a major event in the universe, attracting the attention and competition of countless powerful forces. And he, a planetary-level human martial artist, now possessed an original embryo of a golden horned beast. This feeling was like a dream. During the middle 10 days, Ning's psychic power began to fuse with the soul core of the golden horned beast embryo. This process was excruciatingly painful. Although the golden horned beast's soul core had not yet birthed a consciousness, its essence was at the peak of the World Lord rank, far exceeding Ning's current psychic power level. Fusing planetary-level psychic power with a World Lord peak soul core was like trying to pull a mountain with a single strand of hair. Ning gritted his teeth, pushing forward bit by bit. When his psychic power was exhausted, he replenished it with Muya crystals. When the energy of the Muya crystals was exhausted, he used the cloud-caressing vine's life energy to supplement it. He sat cross-legged in the training room, without eating, drinking, or sleeping, all for the sake of success. The cloud-caressing vine stayed by his side, its vines gently encircling his body, ready to transmit life energy to him at any time. The final 10 days. The fusion entered its critical stage. Ning's consciousness began to split. Or rather, it wasn't a true split, but a marvelous, dual perspective. He could see two images at the same time. One was himself in the training room, sitting cross-legged with eyes closed and motionless. The other was the embryo in the system space, the golden patterns on its pitch-black shell growing brighter, flickering like breathing. Two perspectives, two bodies, one soul. This feeling was profoundly mystical. The 30th day, Ning opened his eyes. No, it wasn't just opening his eyes. It was 2 pairs of eyes opening simultaneously. In the training room, his main body opened its eyes, a flash of golden light passing through his pupils. In the system space, a crack appeared in the shell of the golden horned beast embryo, and a golden vertical pupil emerged from the gap, coldly scanning the void realm. Open black lens bracket golden horned beast binding successful close black lens bracket. The golden horned beast clone was born. Ning's consciousness switched between the two bodies, adapting to this brand new way of existence. The golden horned beast clone was still in its embryonic stage, no larger than a fist, but the power it contained already far exceeded his main body. A World Lord peak level soul core, peak bloodline innate secret techniques, golden horned beast legacy memories. These things were enough to give Ning the ability to challenge those above his level even while at the planetary stage. Chapter 52, They Need a New Mountain. Coming out of seclusion. When Ning walked out of the training room, the sunlight was just right. In the living room, Shen Yao was teaching Yan Shi how to recognize characters, Zhao Zixuan was holding Yan Yang while sunbathing, and Su Wanqing was pacing while pushing Yan Qing in a stroller. Qin Shuyu sat on the sofa, holding Yan Shu in her arms. The four women had grown accustomed to Yan Ning's seclusion. Every time he went on a mission, their husband would return with a full harvest, ensuring the small family had no worries about food, drink, or clothing, so if he wanted to go into seclusion, let him. Brother Ning has gotten thinner again. Shen Yao's voice was gentle, filled with heartache. It's nothing. Yan Ning walked over, checked on each of the four children one by one, then sat down beside Qin Shuyu, looking down at Yan Shu in his swaddling clothes. The little guy had grown quite a bit compared to a month ago. He was fair and chubby, with eyes as big and bright as two black grapes. Seeing Yan Ning, he actually chuckled and reached out his small hand to grab Yan Ning's nose. Yan Ning dodged with a laugh, took him with both hands, and began to tease him. By the way, Qin Shuyu suddenly spoke, her voice somewhat grave, during the month you were in seclusion, a lot has happened outside. What happened? In the north, Qin Shuyu said, the Inca Grand Base city near 60 degrees north latitude suddenly suffered an attack from monsters within the North Pole realm circle. The casualties were heavy, and it was almost breached at one point. Yan Ning's brow furrowed. The news was originally suppressed, but that base city is too large, it was impossible to keep it under wraps. It's already spread outside now. Although the Federation is trying its best to suppress it, the people are still somewhat unsettled. Is there any other bad news? Yan Ning asked. Pressure on all defensive lines is increasing. The density of war general level monsters has increased by at least 30%, and the casualty rate for martial artists has doubled compared to the same period last year. Near the North Pole realm circle, the number of Lord-level monsters cleared after Operation Ice Freeze has already recovered to 30% of the previous level, and it's only been half a year. Yan Ning's brow furrowed even tighter. Half a year, and it's back to 30%. At this rate, in another year or so, the number of Lord-level monsters would return to the levels before Operation Ice Freeze. And Operation Ice Freeze was a result achieved at a massive cost to humanity. Over 100 gods of war were deployed, 4 of the 6 inspectors came, and Hong personally oversaw it, yet they still returned in defeat. The evolution speed of those monsters was far, far faster than that of humans. There's one more thing. According to disclosures from Azure, the evolution speed of monsters in the wild is accelerating. Previously, it took 3 to 6 years for a beast soldier to evolve into a beast general. Now, a year might be enough if it's fast. The living room fell silent for a moment. Yan Ning looked at his youngest son in his arms. The little guy didn't know what the adults were talking about, he just quietly gnawed on his own fist. Life must go on. Yan Ning looked up, his gaze sweeping over his 4 wives and 4 children. Eat when you should, sleep when you should, and cultivate when you should. If the sky falls, I'll be there to hold it up. Life in Nanjong Base City continued. Yan Ning's life seemed no different than before, but the focus of his cultivation had changed. The growth of the golden horned beast clone required a massive amount of life energy. Fortunately, the eggshell contained an enormous amount of vitality, which could perfectly transition the golden horned beast through its weak period, meaning Yan Ning didn't need to worry about energy sources in the early stages. Time, he needed time. I need even more. I just don't know if there are suitable metals on Azure for it to eat after it finishes the eggshell. Let's wait a bit longer. Yan Ning suppressed the impulse in his heart. The clone is still too fragile. Facing that king beast now wouldn't give me much of a chance. I'll wait for it to grow a bit more, ideally until my main body breaks through another 1 or 2 realms. When that time comes, that white giant beast within the North Pole realm circle won't be a threat, but nourishment. While Yan Ning occasionally cleared out monster lords near Nanjong Base City and the golden horned beast ate its eggshell, the situation in the outside world was deteriorating rapidly. Paper ultimately cannot wrap fire. The news of the base city near 60 degrees north latitude being attacked eventually leaked out. Although the Federation used all its power to block it, in the era of self-media, the speed of information dissemination was far faster than the speed of suppression. Various rumors began to appear on the internet. The rumors were half true and half false. But every sentence plucked at the nerves of the public. Qin Mufeng personally came forward to give a speech, denying the rumors of Hong's defeat, stating that the monster activity in the North Pole Realm Circle was a normal fluctuation and that the Federation had sufficient capability to protect the safety of the people. But not many people believed him. Panic began to spread among the populace. The Azure Federation used all its strength to maintain stability. But the results were not ideal. People scrolled through posts on forums that were constantly being deleted and constantly reappearing. Some said they saw overwhelming swarms of beasts near the North Pole, some said a certain god of war squad was wiped out, and some said Hong had already died in battle and the Federation was just covering up the truth. No one cared what Qin Mufeng said. They only cared about one thing. Hong had not appeared. The highest mountain on Azure Star, the hardest blade, the strongest man who had fought his way through from the Cataclysm era. He was the true pillar of stability in the hearts of the people. As long as he stood there, even if he didn't say a word, people's hearts would not scatter. But Hong did not show his face. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Qin Mufeng came out to give 4 speeches, each more earnest than the last, but the people only saw one fact. Hong still had not shown his face. The man who had slaughtered through the beast swarms in the Cataclysm era, the man who would stand at the very front every time humanity was in crisis, did not appear this time. Naturally, panic spread like a plague. Base cities in the north began to see a massive wave of southward migration. Traffic on the highways stretched for tens of kilometers, train stations were overcrowded, and even plane tickets were being scalped at sky-high prices. Housing prices in southern base cities skyrocketed, supplies became scarce, prices soared, and some remote small base cities even faced food shortages. The Azure Federation used all its power to maintain stability. Qin Mufeng mobilized the army to maintain order, major base cities implemented a rationing system for supplies, and the sensitive word library on the internet was updated over a dozen times a day. But panic is something that, once it spreads, cannot be suppressed by forceful means alone. Unless Hong personally stood up and told them, "I am here, do not fear." But Hong was not there. He had gone to the SO1 ruins. That death trap with a 99% mortality rate, that place which held the last hope of Azure's humanity. 3 years. To a martial artist, 3 years is not long, but to a panicked populace, 3 years is far too long. Long enough for them to lose hope, long enough for them to start doubting if something had truly happened to Hong, and long enough for them to start planning their own way out. Under panic, people's hearts began to waver. Some wealthy merchants in the north began to sell off their assets, trying to buy tickets for spaceships through underground channels. Some powerful officials began to transfer their families, sending their children to safer overseas bases. Some people even began to build private spaceships, trying to flee this planet before the chaotic times arrived. Qin Mufeng killed a batch and imprisoned a batch, but he couldn't kill them all, nor could he imprison them all. Because the root of the panic was not in those people, but in everyone's hearts, they no longer had a backbone. Azure's humanity needed someone who could stand in the position Hong once occupied and tell them, "I am here, do not fear." It wasn't Qin Mufeng. Qin Mufeng was very strong, but he was number 2. Between number 2 and number 1, there was a chasm that ordinary people couldn't see but could feel. The public could trust Qin Mufeng, but they wouldn't bet their lives and fortunes on him. They needed a new mountain. Chapter 53, How big of a wave can you make alone? Inside the system space, the golden horned beast finished digesting the last of the eggshell energy and suddenly opened its eyes, letting out a low growl and roar as the pressure of the planetary stage level 3 spread out. The sound wasn't loud, but it contained a pressure originating from the depths of its bloodline, as if announcing to the entire universe, "I have arrived." Amidst the roar, golden ripples spread out from its body, causing the system space to tremble slightly. Inside the training room, sitting cross-legged, Ning suddenly opened his eyes. Deep within his pupils, a flash of golden light flickered and vanished. Finally finished digesting. Just then, Yan Ning's communication watch began to vibrate. A call from Qin Mufeng. "You're out of seclusion." Qin Mufeng's voice carried a hint of urgency. "Just came out." "What's wrong?" "Something happened." Qin Mufeng took a deep breath. A frontline monitoring station at 54 degrees north latitude was wiped out by a beast swarm last night. All 4 gods of war stationed there were killed in action. Yan Ning's brow furrowed. How did 4 gods of war die all at once? In any base city, they would be pillar-level combatants, let alone in such a tense atmosphere of public opinion. They're just gone like that. This is truly a bit bad. The key point is that the monitoring station is over 300 kilometers away from the North Pole realm circle. Logically, it shouldn't be within the activity range of a king beast. Qin Mufeng's voice was hoarse. But in last night's attack, at least 3 king-level monsters were involved. 3 king-level ones. Yes, and they are king beasts of the planetary level stage 2 or higher, with strength far exceeding ordinary planetary level stage 1s. Yan Ning was silent for a few seconds. King-level monsters normally have fixed territories and do not leave easily. 3 king-level monsters appearing simultaneously, far from the North Pole realm circle, is definitely no coincidence. You mean, that white giant beast in the North Pole realm circle has really started expanding outward? Uncertain, Qin Mufeng said, but that's the worst-case scenario. If it truly starts expanding its territory, all base cities north of 60 degrees north latitude will be directly exposed to its attack range. Yan Ning's heart sank. North of 60 degrees north latitude, there are 7 or 8 base cities of various sizes, with a population of tens of millions. If those king beasts really head south, the consequences would be unimaginable. Public opinion can no longer be suppressed. Qin Mufeng's voice sounded tired. Although the news of Hong Huang entering the SO1 ruins hasn't been made public, the people aren't fools. He hasn't appeared for over half a year, and the internet is already buzzing with all sorts of rumors. Qin Mufeng listed them one by one, each one making Yan Ning's brow furrow even tighter. The people need someone to stand up, Qin Mufeng said. Someone to stand where Hong Huang once stood and tell them, "I am here, do not be afraid." "You mean, me?" "Yes." Qin Mufeng didn't beat around the bush. "I know your personality is not to seek the limelight, but these are extraordinary times. Azure needs a new mountain, a mountain that people can see." "I am not Hong Huang," Yan Ning said. "I know," Qin Mufeng said, "but you are the person I've seen who is closest to him. During Operation Ice Freeze, you killed over 20 Lord-level monsters by yourself, and during the cleanup around Kunlun Base City, you showed strength far beyond your peers. You are currently the only one who can produce such dazzling battle records in a short time." Yan Ning was silent. Killing monsters was his responsibility and duty. He had already planned for this and had no intention of avoiding it. But he truly didn't want to step into the spotlight, to be hyped up by the media and propped up with a persona like Azure's tallest mountain. First, it was his personality. He preferred to keep a low profile and make a fortune in silence. If he can win, he charges. If he can't, he stays low. Second was the system. His confidence came from trump cards like the golden horned beast and the cloud-caressing vine. These things couldn't be made public, and if he drew too much attention, it would be easy to expose them later. But Qin Mufeng was right. Now was not the time to consider personal preferences. Hong Huang was gambling his life in the SO1 ruins, Qin Mufeng was overseeing Kunlun Base City, and those gods of war were fighting for their lives on various defense lines. And he, who possessed the golden horned beast clone and combat power far exceeding his level, was hiding in Nanjong Base City living in comfort. Besides, he was just stepping into the spotlight. "I understand. What do you need me to do?" Yan Ning no longer hesitated and nodded in agreement. "Stand out. Make a public appearance and show your strength. Let the people know that in Azure, there are others besides Hong Huang who can fight." Specific location: Shanghai Base City. Qin Mufeng pulled up a file and transmitted it to Yan Ning's communication watch. Shanghai is the largest hub base city in the south, with a population of over 300 million. In the past month, the density of beast swarms on the outskirts has surged by 50%, and public panic is at its peak. If you can fight a brilliant battle in Shanghai, the effect will be better than anywhere else. Yan Ning opened the file and scanned it quickly. On the outskirts of Shanghai base city, there are over 3,200 monsters of beast general level or higher, and at least 80 lord class ones. This scale was even larger than the beast tide he faced during Operation Ice Freeze. But before the current him, it's still not enough. For the human martial artist Yan Ning, it might be quite taxing, as there are times when strength is exhausted. But for the golden horned beast with the peak world lord bloodline, it was an extremely suitable feast of nutrients. Even if there are thousands or tens of thousands of ants, it's still just a matter of crushing them with one foot. Are you ready? Yan Ning thought for a moment and asked a question that stunned Qin Mufeng. The commotion might be a bit big, can you handle the fallout? Far away in Kunlun base city, Qin Mufeng sat in his office, holding his communication watch, frozen for a moment. He thought he had misheard. What did you say? I said, the commotion might be quite big. When I take action, the scene might be rather shocking. Once the media reports it, the internet will definitely explode. Can your side keep up with the public opinion control? For a moment, Qin Mufeng didn't know what to say. What do you mean by, the commotion might be a bit big? How big of a commotion can you make by yourself? You are at the planetary level, not the astral rank. Even if you are my son-in-law, you shouldn't be bragging like this, right? Qin Mufeng took a deep breath to calm himself down and carefully recalled Yan Ning's battle record. First was the cleanup on the outskirts of Kunlun base city, over 20 lord-level monsters. Then was Operation Ice Freeze, going deep into the North Pole realm alone and killing over 20 lord-level monsters despite the extreme cold and snow. Then recently, the cleanup on the outskirts of Kunlun base city, where the lord-level monsters were almost completely slaughtered. These records were indeed dazzling. But the beast swarms on the outskirts of Shanghai base city were several or even a dozen times the size of those two occasions. An estimated 80-plus lord class, over 3,200 beast generals, and hundreds of thousands or even millions of beast soldiers and beast grunts. The number of king-level monsters was unknown. How big of a wave can you make alone? Chapter 54, Let Him Fight Alone. Qin Mufeng felt that Yan Ning might have been in seclusion for too long and had underestimated the external situation. For young people, having drive is a good thing, but they shouldn't become too conceited. However, he didn't want to dampen Yan Ning's enthusiasm. After all, Azure truly needed someone who could stand up right now. Yan Ning was young, strong, and had an amazing record, plus, he had already garnered a lot of attention online. With a bit of packaging, he could indeed stabilize public opinion. As for whether he could actually clear out the beast swarm in Shanghai, to be honest, Qin Mufeng didn't hold much hope. If he could kill a dozen or 20 lord-level monsters and capture some shocking video footage to give the people hope, that would be enough. Don't worry, your elder has already made some preparations, Qin Mufeng replied. After a moment's thought, he added, Shanghai base city is the largest beast swarm point in the south, with nearly 100 lord-class monsters. Take it easy, I don't want Shuyu to lose her husband. Received. Yan Ning hung up the phone. Qin Mufeng put down his communication watch, leaned back in his chair, and rubbed his temples. He always felt like he had forgotten something. Updates are not easy, remember to share 101kanshu.com. But he couldn't remember it for the moment. Forget it. He's a young man, let him go for it. Shanghai base city. Combat Command Center. On the holographic screen, Qin Mufeng's profile appeared in the center. Everyone, have you considered the matter I spoke about? Zhao Zhengguo stood before the screen, with a group of senior officials from Shanghai base city behind him. Inspector Qin. Zhao Zhengguo chose his words carefully. We received your request, but letting Yan Ning clear the beast swarm on the outskirts of Shanghai alone, isn't that decision too risky? I said, I'm not asking you to clear it. Qin Mufeng emphasized, he will be the main force. And you will cooperate. Shanghai base city's war god squads and planetary-level experts can assist him. Zhao Zhengguo smiled bitterly. Inspector Qin made it sound easy. But the planetary-level expert in Shanghai base city was the core combat force guarding the center and could not leave easily. As for the war god squads, With over 80 Lord-class monsters and more than 3,200 beast generals, what could their small amount of manpower achieve? Inspector Chin, if I may be blunt. Behind Zhao Zhengguo, a middle-aged man stepped forward. He was one of the counselors of Shanghai Base City, an advanced war god named Fang Ping, who had operated in Shanghai for over a decade and whose words carried great weight. We acknowledge Yan Ning's strength. He indeed performed exceptionally in Operation Ice Freeze, killing over 20 Lord-class monsters alone, which shows he has more than just war god-level combat power. He should have already broken through to the planetary level, right? Qin Mufeng nodded, confirming that was the case. Fang Ping changed his tone. But Shanghai is not the Northlands. The Lord-level monsters in the Northlands are mostly scattered across the ice fields and can be defeated one by one. The beast swarms on the outskirts of Shanghai are clustered together. Over 80 Lord-class monsters gathered together, responding to each other, touching one affects them all. If he rushes in alone and happens to get surrounded, do we save him or not? If we do, how much manpower will we lose? If we don't, how do we explain it to the public? Fang Ping's voice grew louder. Inspector Chin, we know you want to promote your grandson-in-law, but Shanghai has a full 300 million people. We cannot risk the entire base city for one person's private gain. These words were quite blunt. A low murmur of agreement rippled through the command center. Qin Mufeng's expression turned somewhat grim. Fang Ping, what do you mean by that? Qin Mufeng said coldly. I, Qin Mufeng, have served Azure for 30 years. When have I ever treated public affairs as personal favors? That's not what I meant. Fang Ping did not back down. I'm just speaking the facts. We don't deny Yan Ning's strength. But it's been at most half a year since he broke through to the planetary level, right? How much progress can one make in half a year? A first-stage planetary level is impressive normally, but against over 80 Lord-class monsters, it's not even enough to fill the gaps between their teeth. How do you know he's still at the first stage of the planetary level? Inspector Chin, you know the resource situation on Azure better than I do. After breaking through to the planetary level, every stage requires a massive amount of energy. Without those heaven and earth treasures from the universe, relying solely on hunting monsters, reaching the second stage from the first in half a year is already the limit. At the second stage of the planetary level, what difference does it make against over 80 Lord-class monsters? Fang Ping's words were logical. The people present nodded one after another. Indeed, after breaking through to the planetary level, cultivation speed drops drastically. Resources on Azure are too scarce, there are no universe crystals, no energy ores, and no high-level guiding techniques. The bit of life essence obtained from hunting monsters is simply not enough. Yan Ning broke through to the planetary level half a year ago. By now, he would be at most at the second stage of the planetary level. A second stage planetary level is indeed very strong. But facing over 80 Lord-class monsters still carries a huge risk. Moreover, there are over 3,000 beast generals and millions of beast soldiers and minions in the swarm. Enough ants can bite an elephant to death. Qin Mufeng fell silent for a moment. He knew Fang Ping had a point. But he also knew that Yan Ning was not someone who fought unprepared. Battles. That young man had never disappointed him since the day they met. How about this? Qin Mufeng took half a step back and said thoughtfully, Shanghai doesn't need to deploy any gods of war to assist him. That planetary level expert will continue to guard the base city and must not leave. Then, Zhao Zhengguo was stunned. Then how will Yan Ning fight? He'll fight alone. Fight alone. Yes. You only need to provide intelligence support and logistical backup, and be ready to pick him up if necessary. If he can fight, you cooperate with the publicity. If he can't, you bring him back. This. Zhao Zhengguo and Fang Ping looked at each other, both somewhat surprised. Why did Qin Mufeng's attitude suddenly soften? Inspector Qin, do you mean Yan Ning is going to charge into the beast swarm alone? Fang Ping frowned. His exact words were, the commotion might be a bit loud. Qin Mufeng smiled bitterly. I don't know what he's up to either. But since he dared to say that, he must be confident. Fang Ping wanted to say more. But Zhao Zhengguo raised his hand to stop him. Fine. Since Inspector Qin says so, we will cooperate to a limited extent. For Yan Ning's operation, Shanghai will not deploy gods of war to assist, and our planetary-level expert will remain in place. However, if he encounters danger, we will send a rescue team. If the situation is untenable, Shanghai will not use our vital forces to save Director Yan Ning. Please be aware of this. That's acceptable. After saying this, Qin Mufeng ended the communication. The atmosphere in the command center was a bit subtle. Fang Ping was the first to speak. Chairman Zhao, do you really intend to let that Yan Ning go to his death alone? It's not going to his death. Inspector Qin is not a reckless person. Since he dared to let Yan Ning come, he must be confident. Confident? Fang Ping sneered. What confidence can a young man who broke through to the planetary level half a year ago have? In my view, Inspector Qin just wants to build momentum for his grandson-in-law and is using Shanghai as a stage. Regardless, Zhao Zhengguo sighed. We can't ignore Inspector Qin's face, we'll just do our part. What about the publicity? If he actually achieves results, how should we cooperate? If he really achieves results, Zhao Zhengguo said, then it proves he truly has the strength. We will cooperate fully. At the very least, the sky over Azure won't collapse any further. But if he fails, he paused, then that's his own business. Everyone understood. The implication was that putting on a show was fine, but don't expect Shanghai to clean up your mess. Chapter 55, Me, avoiding the brunt of his attack. The news spread quickly. At a high-level meeting in Shanghai-based city, someone leaked the matter to familiar media outlets. Although no names were mentioned, the news that a certain young powerhouse would single-handedly clear the beast hordes on the outskirts of Shanghai still caused a massive uproar on the internet. Who is it? So brave, going alone to fight 80 Lord-class beasts. Could it be Hong Huang? Is Lord Hong Huang finally going to make a move? Wake up, person above. Lord Hong Huang hasn't shown his face for half a year, who knows what's going on? I heard it's Inspector Qin's grandson-in-law, that Yan Ning from Operation Ice Freeze. Yan Ning, the one who killed many Lord-class beasts in Nanjing. Is he capable? Capable my ass. It's only been half a year since his planetary-level breakthrough. At most, he's first or second stage. How the hell is he going to fight 80 Lord-class beasts? It's a show, right? Definitely a publicity stunt. He'll kill 2 or 3, film some videos, package it up, and become a hero. Ha! Putting the lives of 300 million people in Shanghai on the line for a stunt, disgusting. Don't be so quick to curse. What if he actually has some skill? Regardless, he has made great contributions to Azure. Skill? What skill could he have? He's not Lord Hong Huang. Out of every 10 comments online, 8 were full of doubt and mockery. It wasn't that the people were unwilling to believe. It was just that the news was too preposterous. One person, facing over 80 Lord-class beasts, over 3,000 beast general beasts, and millions in the beast horde. This wasn't bravery, it was seeking death. Even for Hong Huang, facing a beast horde of this scale, he would certainly not dare to say he could take it on alone and would only avoid its brunt. Much less a young man who had only achieved his planetary-level breakthrough half a year ago. Thus, naturally, the word show became the most frequent term in the comments section. Meanwhile, Nanjing Base City, Yan Ning was packing his gear. He didn't know about the discussions in Shanghai, nor the doubts online. Even if he did, he wouldn't care. He was no longer the Yan Ning who had just achieved his planetary-level breakthrough half a year ago. The golden horned beast clone was his greatest source of confidence. Mo Yun, are you ready? Yan Ning patted his collar. The cloud-caressing vine poked its head out from his collar, the golden patterns on the vine flickering with an excited light. Master, I've been ready for a long time. I'm going to have a full meal this time. All right, I'll let you eat your fill this time. He stood up, glanced at his 4 wives busy in the living room, and then at his 4 children. Then he turned and walked out of the house. Shanghai Base City. 300 million people were waiting. Some were expectant. Some were skeptical. More people were waiting to see a joke. And Yan Ning, bringing his golden horned beast clone and the cloud-caressing vine, set off alone with his blade toward the Shanghai wilderness. War God Palace. The atmosphere in the meeting hall was very subtle. A holographic screen took up most of the wall, the image was somewhat grainy, and the signal was intermittent. Real-time footage sent back by an anti-magnetic aerial drone from Shanghai base city. Yan Ning had already gone deep into the heart of the beast horde, but the communication interference was too strong. The image flickered in and out, showing only blurred outlines and occasional bursts of energy light. Shanghai base city is really something. For such an important matter, they didn't send anyone to record the combat footage. Do they really think director Yan Ning is a pushover? A white-haired god of war shook his head, his tone carrying dissatisfaction. The one presiding over Shanghai is an old fellow who has long since lost his spirit. He hasn't participated in these last few operations, so it's normal for him not to know director Yan's strength. But this kind of behavior clearly shows they just don't believe in him. Giving him the cold shoulder and even leaking secrets, those people in Shanghai really are. There was no need to finish the sentence. But everyone understood what she meant. The fact that the Shanghai high-level officials had leaked the news to the media was no longer a secret in the God of War circles. Claiming limited cooperation was, to put it bluntly, just not believing Yan Ning could do it. They didn't want to offend Qin Mufeng. But they also didn't want to take any risks. So they chose this most cowardly way. You fight yours, I'll watch mine. If you achieve results, they're yours, but if problems arise, you carry them yourself. Arguing back and forth is meaningless. From our perspective, Shanghai is indeed a bit cowardly, but they have a large establishment and are responsible for 300 million people. How could they change their course just because of a single word from Inspector Qin? In my view, Director Yan still needs to let his combat record speak for itself. The hall fell silent for a moment. The last person who let their combat record speak for itself is buried forever in the North Pole Realm Circle. Someone whispered. The air seemed to freeze. Everyone couldn't help but think of those who had fallen during Operation Ice Freeze. Over 100 gods of war were deployed, 4 of the 6 great inspectors came, and Hong Huang himself presided over it. And the result? Over a dozen gods of war died, Hong Huang lost an arm, Qin Mufeng was heavily injured, and they returned in defeat. That person who let their combat record speak for itself referred to none other than the Li couple, who had sacrificed themselves during the Beast Riot. The foul things Li Qingyu and her husband had done in secret, such as human experimentation and using the lives of martial artists to fill ruins, were known even to the gods of war half a hemisphere away. They were dead, so let them be dead. No one wanted to dwell on that. The topic quickly shifted. On the other side of the hall, Inspector Liu and Inspector Liu were sitting with Qin Mufeng, the 3 of them chatting happily, not at all affected by the attitude over in Shanghai. Someone approached to ask for their views on Yan Ning's trip. Inspector Liu picked up his teacup, took a sip, and said with a smile, "We also don't know Director Yan's true strength. Since old Qin says his grandson-in-law is fine, then let's just wait and see." Inspector Liu nodded in agreement from the side. Anyway, the situation couldn't possibly get any worse. The two spoke nonchalantly, but their eyes never left that grainy holographic screen. Qin Mufeng sat upright with a composed smile on his face, maintaining a posture of everything is under control. But his palms were full of sweat. Yan Ning, oh Yan Ning. You must pull through. He had no confidence. Truly none. A planetary level who had only broken through half a year ago, facing a beast tide of such scale in Shanghai, even if Hong Huang came in person and teamed up with the 5 great inspectors, they could only avoid its brunt. Just what was Yan Ning relying on to be so confident? He didn't know, but Qin Mufeng chose to believe. Because other than that, Qin Mufeng had no other choice. Although everyone was chatting amongst themselves, their attention remained on that grainy holographic screen. Yan Ning. Just how strong was he? Was there really hope? If he really couldn't hold out, given the current trend of public opinion, it would truly be the end. Yan Ning walked through the air. Looking at the beast horde below rushing like a surging tide, there wasn't much of a ripple in his heart. The golden horned beast could be released from the system space at any time. At the very worst, he would just ride the golden horned beast and run. But as Yan Ning sensed the intensity below, more and more confidence welled up within him. At this level, would I really need to avoid your brunt? Chapter 56, Waiting with Anticipation. The Shanghai Wilderness. The heart of the beast horde. Under the roar of the surging beast tide, the earth trembled violently. Hundreds of thousands of monsters, like a gray torrent, poured in from all directions, surrounding the abandoned urban area so tightly that not even water could trickle through. In the sky, flying monsters with wingspans exceeding 20 meters blocked the sunlight, casting vast, moving shadows upon the ground. And at the center of these shadows, a human figure was slowly walking forward. Ning, war blade in hand. The 196 blades of the arc blade disc hovered around him, encircling his body like a silver river. The vines of the cloud-caressing vine had already spread from his collar, wrapping around his arms and torso, their golden patterns flickering. His pace was neither fast nor slow. With every step he took, several monsters fell. Wherever the blade stream passed, beast blood rained down and severed limbs flew. Not a single monster could get within 10 meters of him. Beast General, 1/. Lord Class, also 1/. Defense, Scales, Innate Abilities, all were jokes before the second style of the 9 Inkfall blades. An astral rank secret technique. Even if Ning had only mastered the basics, it was enough to crush these indigenous monsters who had never even seen the universe. At the same time, 10 li away, another battlefield. The golden horned beast clone rampaged through the beast horde. Its size was only a little over 2 meters long, appearing petite in front of the lord-level monsters that were often over 10 meters tall. But the pressure originating from deep within its bloodline made all monsters that approached it instinctively feel terror. It was the absolute suppression between predator and prey, etched into their genes. An S-rank lord-level monster dived from the high sky, its screeching vibrating the air as its sharp claws tore through the atmosphere, heading straight for the golden horned beast's head. The golden horned beast didn't even slow down. It flapped its wings. It took to the air. Its hooves and claws carved out a golden arc. S-rank lord, dead. The bifurcated corpse fell from the sky, blood pouring down like a rainstorm. The golden horned beast continued its charge. Its massive tail swept across, smashing dozens of beast generals directly into meat paste. The golden patterns on its single horn lit up, and a beam of light shot out, plowing a charred trench dozens of meters long through the dense beast horde ahead. In just 10 minutes or so, the earth had already been dyed red. Blood flowed like a river. Shanghai Base City, Combat Command Center. The images on the holographic screen finally stabilized a bit. The anti-magnetic aerial camera tremulously passed through the interference zone and flew over the battlefield. The moment the images were transmitted back, the entire command center fell into a deathly silence. Devastation everywhere. The air was thick with the scent of blood everywhere. The abandoned high-rises had half collapsed, their ruins hung with the severed limbs of monsters. On the ground, corpses of all sizes were piled like mountains, and blood gathered into streams, winding through the ruins. And at the center of this Asura field, that figure was still advancing. Blood was still dripping from the fuller of the war blade. The blade stream was still spinning. The vines of the cloud-caressing vine greedily devoured the life essence from every corpse, its golden patterns growing brighter and brighter. Was this really killed by just one person? Someone murmured to themselves, their voice trembling. No one answered, because no one knew the answer. Just then, the screen suddenly jerked violently. The aerial camera's lens automatically turned. Underground, something was moving. Boom! The ground exploded. A thick tentacle burst out from the ground, over 2 meters in diameter, its surface covered in dark red scales and dense suckers. The tentacle's speed was astonishing. From breaking the soil to rising dozens of meters into the air, it took only the blink of an eye. It climbed up the wall of a nearby abandoned building, squeezing the entire structure until it groaned and creaked, with concrete fragments falling like rain. Immediately after, a second one, a third one, a fourth one. 4 tentacles burst from the ground simultaneously from 4 directions, like 4 pillars holding up the heavens, surrounding the area where Ning was in a cage. A sense of oppression, a suffocating sense of pressure. Even through the screen, everyone in the command center felt that trembling aura. King-level monster. And it was the most notorious one in the Shanghai Sea region, the deep-sea magic octopus. Planetary level Tier 3. It was a level stronger than the White King beast Yan Ning had slain during Operation Ice Freeze. The planetary level powerhouse stationed in Shanghai had once fought it, but was repelled within 3 moves and almost didn't make it back alive. It's over. Fang Ping's face was deathly pale, his lips trembling. Yan Ning, he hasn't even looked back. In the images on the screen, Yan Ning was facing away from that tentacle, seemingly entangled by the beast horde in front of him, completely unaware of the lethal threat behind him. After reaching its highest point, the tentacle suddenly stalled. Then, like a spring compressed to its limit and suddenly released, it smashed down fiercely toward Yan Ning's back at a speed almost impossible to capture with the naked eye. "Dodge!" someone in the command center shouted. But it was too late. The tentacle's speed was too fast. So fast that the moment everyone's thoughts had just arisen, it had already smashed to a position less than 10 meters behind Yan Ning. 10 meters. To a planetary-level powerhouse, it was a distance of only 0.01 seconds. But the tentacle's speed was likewise measured in milliseconds. At this moment, Zhao Zhengguo closed his eyes. Fang Ping clenched his fists, his nails digging into his flesh. Far away in Kunlun Base City, the teacup in Qin Mufeng's hand slipped and crashed to the floor, shards flying everywhere. In the War God Palace Assembly Hall, everyone held their breath. Inspector Lu's hand, holding a teacup, hung in midair, motionless. Inspector Lu leaned forward slightly, his pupils constricting. Those gods of war who were just buzzing with discussion could not make a sound at this moment. Everyone's gaze was fixed intently on that holographic screen, staring at that back that still hadn't turned around, staring at the tentacle that had already smashed down. Then, they saw. Yan Ning moved, not to turn around, nor to dodge, he didn't even damn well look back. Yan Ning merely tilted his body slightly, and the war blade in his hand, in a manner that seemed slow but was actually fast to the extreme, slashed upward diagonally. A blade glow suddenly appeared. A silver-white blade glow extended from the tip of the blade, carving a graceful arc through the air. That arc was very thin. So thin it was almost invisible. But the moment it swept across the tentacle, the 2-meter diameter limb was sliced as cleanly as tofu. There was no explosion, nor was there any roar. Only a soft, kai, sound as the tentacle was split in two from the middle. One could even see the muscle fibers still writhing inside and the dark red bodily fluids gushing out. The front half of the tentacle lost its support and fell limply, smashing onto the ruins and kicking up a large cloud of dust. The back half of the tentacle twitched frantically and suddenly retracted underground. A roar filled with pain echoed from deep within the earth. One slash. Just one slash. A planetary-level Tier 3 King-level monster, the most notorious existence in the Shanghai Sea region, an existence that even the stationed planetary-level powerhouse could only flee from. Before Yan Ning, it couldn't even withstand a single slash. The king-level monster, the shadow that had loomed over this base city of 300 million people for many years, was just like that, easily extinguished by a single slash from Yan Ning. Deep-sea magic octopus, dead. Chapter 57, One Man, One Blade, Can Guard Shanghai. Yan Ning didn't even look back. Instead, he continued to charge towards the monster swarm that was surging forward but showing signs of defeat. One man, one blade, can guard Shanghai. In the command center, dead silence, absolute silence. When Zhao Zhengguo opened his eyes, what he saw was not the scene of Yan Ning being smashed into meat paste by the tentacles, but that half-severed tentacle still twitching. His pupils shrank suddenly. His mouth opened, wanting to say something, but he couldn't utter a single word. Fang Ping's hands were shaking. Not out of fear, but out of disbelief. He was just saying that Yan Ning wouldn't make it, that a second-stage planetary level facing 80 Lord classes was a death wish, and that Qin Mufeng was putting the lives of Shanghai's 300 million people on the line for a show. Now, he felt like a joke. War God Palace. In front of the holographic screen. Inspector Lu finally couldn't hold the teacup in his hand. Tea spilled all over the table, but he was completely oblivious. What kind of blade technique is this? I don't know either. Qin Mufeng himself felt surprised, he had only just barely regained his composure. Everyone in the hall gasped. Yan Ning is only at the second stage planetary level, yet he can master such a terrifying blade technique. Is it a blade technique that emerged from some ruins? But that shouldn't be right. On Azure, besides the SO1 ruins, the other ruins are somewhat lacking. But if he comprehended it himself, what kind of damn monster is he? Everyone found it hard to imagine. Jealousy, envy, admiration. Under various emotions, it was extremely complex. It's not over yet, Inspector Liu suddenly spoke, his eyes fixed on the screen. Look at the ground. Everyone looked down. In the footage, another shadow appeared on the ground. It wasn't the shadow of a tentacle, but a massive, rapidly moving shadow. From its shape, it looked like a giant beast with wings. It swept over Yan Ning's head, casting a vast darkness on the ground. The aerial drone's lens jerked up, trying to capture the true form of that shadow. But in the next second, the screen shook violently. Then, it turned completely into static. The signal is cut off. The operator exclaimed, the anti-magnetic aerial drone has been destroyed. Destroyed by what? I don't know. The last image sent back was too blurry, I could only see a golden shadow. Silence fell over the hall once again. A golden shadow. What kind of monster is that now? Never seen before. Could it be that some never-before-seen king-level monster has been born here in Shanghai? No one knew, but everyone realized one thing, their previous doubts, questioning, and lack of confidence in Yan Ning. From beginning to end, it all seemed like a joke. No, more accurately, remove Feshimed, it was a damn joke, and they were all clowns. Shanghai Wilderness. Yan Ning retracted his battle blade, glanced at the fragments of the shattered aerial drone in the sky, and frowned slightly. I almost caught the golden horned beast on camera. He sighed silently in his heart. It's better not to cause them too much panic. Some things are better for everyone the fewer people know. I'll take this opportunity to give Mo Yun some good food. The corpse of the deep-sea magic octopus collapsed. The cloud-caressing vine quickly darted in, sending a satisfied thought, Master, delicious. So delicious. Yan Ning put away his battle blade and looked up at the sky. The aerial drone was already shattered. But it didn't matter. Those people should have seen what they needed to see. A one-strike kill of a Shanghai Shadow King-level monster should be enough to boost confidence, right? As for what they shouldn't see, they didn't see it. That's enough. Yan Ning didn't have much time left because he was attacking from both sides. Once the golden horned beast started killing, it hadn't stopped. In just a short while, the number of Lord-level monsters had drastically decreased by 40%. Monsters also have intelligence. Seeing this situation, it was only natural for the beast tide to retreat. Looking down from high above, the originally overwhelming swarm, like a gray torrent, was being compressed, driven back, and forced to retreat from 3 directions simultaneously. 3 points. 3 monsters. The universe's top bloodline, the golden horned beast. 3rd stage planetary level peak, cloud-caressing vine. And that human, Yan Ning, holding a battle blade and supported by a planetary-level arc blade disc. The 3 formed a triangular formation, acting as mutual support, slowly advancing through the swarm. In the direction of the golden horned beast, corpses were piled up like mountains. Its body was only a little over 2 meters long, appearing petite in front of the lord classes that were often over 10 meters tall, but every pounce and every tail swipe would take the lives of dozens of monsters. Pressure originating from the depths of its bloodline. It could form absolute suppression over lower life forms. Ordinary monsters didn't even have the courage to run in front of the golden horned beast, they could only shiver and wait for death. In the direction of the cloud-caressing vine, the vines were like a swarm of golden pythons, spreading wildly on the ground, in the air, and among the ruins. Every vine was like a straw, piercing into the monsters' bodies, crazily devouring their life essence. Monsters caught by the cloud-caressing vine would be sucked into dry corpses within seconds, then tossed aside by the vines, becoming worthless empty shells. And the direction where Yan Ning's main body was located was the quietest. There was no roar from the golden horned beast. Nor was there the hissing of the cloud-caressing vine. There were only blade glows. Silver-white blade glows drew one elegant arc after another in the air. With every arc that fell, a lord-level monster would fall. One strike, one kill, without exception. Their kind was suffering massive casualties. Not dying in battle, but being crushed, sucked dry, or cut in half. The smell of blood was so thick it wouldn't dissipate. The blood on the ground had gathered into streams, winding through the ruins and finally flowing into the sea, staining the near-shore waters a dark red. No matter how crazily bloodthirsty a monster was, they would regain some clarity in the face of such a massacre. Not to mention, 3 monsters existed simultaneously here in Shanghai. The cleanup speed was astonishingly fast. The swarm finally couldn't hold on anymore. The order to retreat came from deep within the swarm, originating from a 4th-stage planetary-level king beast. Retreat towards the deep sea. Towards the deep sea. The swarm, like a receding tide, surged frantically towards the ocean. Taking advantage of the chaos, the golden horned beast plunged into the deep sea. Its golden vertical pupils flickered with an excited light in the seawater. The deep sea was also its home turf. For those monsters that fled back into the sea, what awaited them was not safety, but an even more frantic hunt. The cloud-caressing vines chased to the seaside, hesitated for a moment, and did not enter the water. It was, after all, a plant-based life form. Although it didn't fear seawater, its mobility in the water was far inferior to that on land. "Master, I can't eat the ones in the sea," the cloud-caressing vine sent a regretful thought. "That's enough. You've already eaten enough today, wait until you've finished digesting." The cloud-caressing vine retracted into Yan Ning's collar contentedly, the golden patterns on its vines becoming even brighter. Its aura was climbing rapidly, having already reached the 3rd-stage planetary-level peak, just 1 step away from the 4th stage. Yan Ning looked down at his feet. The corpse of the deep-sea magic octopus lay across the ruins. 3 of its 4 tentacles were severed, and the last one was still twitching unconsciously. Yan Ning bent down. One hand grabbed the tentacle, lifting the several-ton corpse. The king beast's blood was still dripping, drop by drop, onto the ground, creating small pits. He looked up, toward the direction of Shanghai Base City. On the horizon, the setting sun was perfectly round. The crimson sunset glow was reflected on the sea surface, staining the entire ocean the color of blood. The sea breeze, carrying a salty and fishy smell, blew against him, fluttering the hem of his clothes. A one-sided cleanup operation that had lasted for most of the day thus came to a close. Chapter 58, Azure has a mountain. The time goes back to a few hours ago. Shanghai Base City, Combat Command Center. Zhao Zhengguo stood before the holographic screen, his expression solemn. As the live broadcast signal ready? It's ready, but, are we really going to broadcast live? Zhao Zhengguo was silent for a moment. Live broadcast. He didn't dare. It wasn't that he didn't want to, he just didn't dare. Yan Ning was going deep into the heart of the beast swarm alone, facing over 80 Lord-class monsters, thousands of beast generals, and millions of beasts. In a battle of this scale, the outcome was unpredictable. Well, from his perspective, it was no different from seeking death. If it was broadcast and Yan Ning won, everyone would be happy, and it would greatly boost morale. But what if he lost? What if he was surrounded by the swarm, injured, or even killed in battle? 30 million people would see their hopes shattered with their own eyes. Shanghai could not afford such a blow. No live broadcast, Zhao Zhengguo finally decided. But record the whole thing. If Yan Ning returns alive, we'll decide then whether to release it. Then the public opinion online. Suppress it for now. Zhao Zhengguo waved his hand. Wait until the results are out. Fang Ping stood to the side, silent. His expression was complex. To be honest, he still didn't believe Yan Ning could do it. One person against over 80 Lord-class monsters. What a joke. He had thought of all kinds of wild possibilities, but he still couldn't find a solution for success. Fang Ping didn't say this out loud. Because of Qin Mufeng's face, and because there was still a sliver of hope in his heart. What if that young man could really do it? The news leaked anyway. It was unclear whether it was leaked by someone within Shanghai or if it came from the War God Palace. In any case, The news that Yan Ning was going to clear the beast swarm on the outskirts of Shanghai alone soon caused a sensation on the internet. Open black lens bracket exclusive. Yan Ning, the Lord Killer, from Operation Ice Freeze, will face the Shanghai Beast Tide alone today. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket shocking. Inspector Chin's grandson-in-law taking on 80 Lord-class monsters alone. Hero or show off. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. 300 million lives in Shanghai hang by a thread. Why did the Federation send a newcomer? Close black lens bracket. The headlines of major media outlets were more exaggerated than the next, but the content of the comment sections was surprisingly consistent. Disbelief. 80 Lord-class monsters. Does he think he's Hongwong? He only broke through to the planetary level half a year ago, at most first or second stage. How is he supposed to fight? It's just a show. He'll kill 2 or 3, film some videos, package it up, and become a hero. Why isn't the Shanghai official channel broadcasting live? They don't dare, right? Afraid of being exposed. To be honest, I'd rather believe a sow could climb a tree than believe one person could clear the Shanghai Beast Tide. Doubt, ridicule, and cold indifference. Almost no one was optimistic about Yan Ning. It wasn't that the people were mean, but that the news was simply too ridiculous. In their eyes, even if Yan Ning's combat power was unparalleled and even if he had reached the planetary level, facing a surging beast tide like mountains and seas alone, wasn't that just throwing his life away? This is a fucking battlefield where people die. This isn't bravery, this is seeking death. ... And then, the video was quietly released. The official account of Shanghai Base City suddenly posted a video at dusk. There was no preview, no build-up, and not even any extra explanation. Only a piece of footage, accompanied by a short line of text. Open black lens bracket video record of director Yan Ning killing the king-level monster, deep-sea magic octopus during the clearing operation on the outskirts of Shanghai Base City, close black lens bracket. Video duration, 47 seconds. The first 30 seconds were aerial shots. Ruins, beast. Swarms, a gray torrent covering the mountains and fields. A figure holding a combat saber walked slowly through the beast swarm, surrounded by a silver stream of blades. Wherever he passed, beast blood rained down. The final 17 seconds. The ground exploded. 4 tentacles burst from the ground like pillars supporting the sky, surrounding the figure in the center. The tentacles smashed down. The speed was too fast for the naked eye to capture. Then, the figure moved. He didn't look back. He just slightly turned his body and slashed his combat saber diagonally. A silver-white blade light streaked across the screen. The tentacles were split in 2. The cuts were as smooth as mirrors. The severed halves of the tentacles fell limply, crashing onto the ruins and kicking up clouds of dust. One slash. Just one slash. The most notorious king-level monster in the Shanghai waters, an existence that even presiding planetary-level experts could only flee from, didn't even last a single slash. The video ended there. There was no sound, no commentary, and not even a bit of extra polishing. Perhaps the Shanghai officials themselves didn't know how to polish or edit it. But it was those 47 seconds of silent footage that ignited the entire internet the moment it was released. ... Open black lens bracket Azure Daily official account close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket hashtag one man, one blade, can guard Shanghai hash. Today, during the clearing operation on the outskirts of Shanghai Base City, Azure Counselor Yan Ning killed the third-stage planetary-level king-level monster, deep-sea magic octopus with a single slash, successfully repelling the beast tide. This is the astonishing combat power director Yan Ning has shown once again following Operation Ice Freeze. While Lord Hongwong is exploring the SO1 ruins, Azure humanity does not lack a guardian. Attached image, the frame from the video where Yan Ning swings his blade, the blade light cutting through the sky, freezing the moment the tentacles were severed. ... Open black lens bracket Azure China. News agency official account close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket hashtag Yan Ning single slash hash. With the Shanghai Beast Tide in emergency, he faced 80 lords, 1,000 beast generals, and 100,000 beasts alone with one blade. 47 seconds of video witness the limits of human martial artists. Azure still has a mountain. Attached image. Yan Ning's back as he walks toward Shanghai carrying the king beast's corpse, the setting sun stretching his shadow long. Open black lens bracket Azure CCTV News official account close black lens bracket. #Azure's new mountain #. From Operation Ice Freeze to the Shanghai clearing, from 20 lords to 80 lords, Yan Ning, this young man who only reached the planetary level half a year ago, used a single slash to tell everyone. Even if the sky falls, someone is holding it up. Attached image. A close-up of Yan Ning's face taken from War God Palace records, his eyes calm and expressionless. The three major authoritative media outlets reposted the Shanghai official video at almost the same time, along with their respective comments. The wording was restrained, but the shock that leaked through the lines could not be hidden. Azure Daily said, does not lack a guardian. Azure China News Agency said, Azure still has a mountain. Azure CCTV News said, even if the sky falls, someone is holding it up. Every sentence was a declaration to all of Azure, the man standing behind Honglong has arrived. The comment section completely exploded. What the fuck did I just see? Just one slash. A third stage planetary level king beast, killed in one slash. What exactly is Yan Ning's realm? Wait, he didn't even turn his head. He didn't even look back. What level of confidence is this? I admit I was a bit loud before. Director Yan Ning, I'm sorry, you're my dad. I'll say something that might not sound nice, but even Lord Honglong wasn't this ridiculous when he was at the second stage of the planetary level, right? No need to worry about it sounding bad, it's a fact. When Lord Honglong was at the second stage of the planetary level, he was still struggling to survive in the SO1 ruins. So, does that mean we don't have to panic? That white giant beast in the North Pole realm doesn't seem so scary anymore. Don't rush, one king beast doesn't prove everything, but at least Yan Ning has given us hope. Hope. This isn't just hope, it's a reassurance. One man, one blade, can guard Shanghai. I'm putting that out there today. Chapter 59, The Battle Blade Drips Blood, The Tragedy of the Deep Sea. Amidst the overwhelming discussions, a post surged to the top of the trending list at an astonishing speed. The poster's ID was quite ordinary, named, Shanghai Old Zhong, and the verification information read, PE teacher at Shanghai Base City No. 3 Middle School. The post contained only one picture and a short text. The picture was still a frame captured from the video. Yan Ning was holding the corpse of the deep-sea magic octopus, standing on the ruins, with the blood-red setting sun behind him and the retreating beast horde in front of him. The battle blade dripped blood. His clothes were soaked through with blood, making it impossible to tell if it was from the monster or himself. There was no expression on his face, no joy of victory, nor relief of having survived a disaster. Only calmness. A calmness that put people at ease, and even made them want to cry. The text read, I am 52 years old this year, and I have lived in Shanghai for 52 years. I was 6 years old the year of the cataclysm, my parents carried me and escaped from the mouths of monsters. I have seen too many beast hordes, and I have seen too many people die. Every time, I wondered, when will it end? When will someone be able to stand up and slaughter these beasts clean? Today, I saw it. That person didn't even look back at that tentacle. He didn't bother to look back, because he knew that with that one strike, any king beast would have to die. One man, one blade, can suppress Shanghai. From today on, I am no longer afraid. Azure, there are mountains. Within 10 minutes of being posted, this post had over 1 million likes, over 500,000 shares, and over 300,000 comments. In the comment section, countless people followed up. As a person of Shanghai, I feel the same. This afternoon, I stood on the balcony and heard the explosions in the distance, my legs were shaking. I'm not from Shanghai, but do you guys understand that feeling? It's just, that feeling of turning the tide when all seems lost. I was scolding him for grandstanding before, and I apologize. Director Yan, you are not grandstanding, you are a savior. My grandfather was an old god of war who died in battle in the Northern Territory last year. He once said, Humanity can live to this day not because the monsters are not strong enough, but because there are always people willing to stand up. Yan Ning is that person. One man, one blade, can suppress Shanghai. This sentence is so inspiring. I'm going to stick it on my headboard. War God Palace. You could hear a pin drop in the conference hall. The image on the holographic screen was frozen. Yan Ning stood on the ruins with his blade, the blood-red setting sun behind him. No one spoke. The teacup Inspector Liu was holding had long since gone cold. His thoughts were immersed in that previous scene, and he didn't notice the movement of his hand at all. Inspector Liu leaned back in his chair, his eyes fixed on the screen, as if he wanted to carve that image into his brain. The gods of war who had been discussing noisily just a moment ago were now unable to make a sound. After a long time, Inspector Liu finally spoke, his voice hoarse. Old Qin, what kind of monster is this grandson-in-law of yours? Qin Mufeng did not speak. He sat there, his back straight, a calm smile on his face, as if he had expected it all along, and said indifferently. Don't ask. Even if I told you, you wouldn't understand. But in his heart, he was almost unable to contain himself. Yan Ning, you fellow, you have done more than just stand up, you have poked a hole in the sky. Shanghai Base City, Combat Command Center. Zhao Zhengguo stood in front of the holographic screen, motionless. Fang Ping stood behind him, his face pale. Fang Ping. Zhao Zhengguo spoke suddenly. Yes, you just said that Yan Ning only broke through to planetary level. Half a year ago, at most planetary level stage 2, and facing 80 Lord-class monsters was suicide. Fang Ping was dazed, as if he had lost his soul. Planetary level stage 2. Zhao Zhengguo repeated the term, then smiled bitterly. Planetary level stage 2, killing a planetary level stage 3 king beast in one strike. What kind of logic is this? Fang Ping lowered his head, not daring to answer. Zhao Zhengguo did not continue to press. He turned around and looked out the window. The lights of 10,000 homes in Shanghai Base City flickered in the night, and 300 million people were cheering for the appearance of that young man. Counselor Zhao. I misjudged him. We all misjudged him. Deep sea. Dark, cold, silent. Sunlight could not penetrate this several hundred meters of seawater, only the geothermal light occasionally seeping from the cracks in the seabed outlined vague silhouettes in the darkness. But this silence was broken tonight. A golden figure shuttled through the deep sea, its speed astonishingly fast. Golden horned beast. Its body was a size larger than when it had first hatched. Its body, over 2 meters long, was like a bolt of golden lightning in the dark seawater. Wherever it passed, schools of fish scattered in panic, and large sea monsters fled frantically. But they could not escape. The perception range of the golden horned beast covered dozens of kilometers. The aura of every king-level monster was like a torch in the dark night, as clear as could be. Yan Ning's consciousness was immersed in the perspective of the golden horned beast. He began to get used to this dual perspective feeling. Using one mind for 2 tasks, without any hindrance. The first one. The golden horned beast locked onto a planetary level stage 2 king beast, a giant whale-type monster over 100 meters long, covered all over with thick armor. But in front of the golden horned beast, this fortress was as fragile as a toy. The pressure, originating from a peak universe bloodline, suddenly spread out. The body of that giant whale king beast trembled violently and actually froze in place. It was not that it did not want to run. It was the suppression at the bloodline level that made it unable to even muster the courage to escape. The golden horned beast waved its claws gently, the claw light cutting through the seawater and tearing a wound several meters long in the whale's abdomen. Blood gushed out, staining the surrounding seawater dark red. The golden horned beast pounced, opened its mouth, and began to devour. Not eating. It was absorbing. The devouring talent of the golden horned beast was demonstrated to the fullest at this moment. The life essence, flesh energy, and even the source energy in the crystal core of the giant whale king beast were being extracted, compressed, and converted into the golden horned beast's own nourishment at a speed visible to the naked eye. The behemoth, weighing dozens of tons, turned into a shriveled empty shell within a few minutes. The golden horned beast snorted, and a trace of dissatisfaction flashed in its vertical golden pupils. Planetary level stage 2, too weak. This thought flashed through Yan Ning's consciousness. Too weak. It was not that the king beast was weak, but that the growth requirements of the golden horned beast were too great. One planetary level stage 2 king beast, if placed on any human martial artist, would be enough to rush from the peak of stage 1 to stage 2. But for the golden horned beast, this bit of energy was merely a drop in the bucket. Continue. The golden horned beast flicked its tail and disappeared into the deep sea again. The second one. Planetary level stage 2 peak, a huge octopus-type king beast, its tentacles even thicker than the deep-sea magic octopus. The pressure spread out. Deterrence. Claw strike. Devour. In less than 5 minutes, the second one turned into a dried corpse. The third one. Planetary level stage 3, a giant beast that looked like a crocodile but wasn't, hiding in a reef cave on the seabed, trying to use the terrain to avoid the pursuit of the golden horned beast. But the perception of the golden horned beast locked onto its aura and smashed the reef directly with its head. A golden beam from its single horn shot out at close range, blasting a large hole in the giant beast's head. Devour. The fourth one, the fifth one, the sixth one. One king-level monster after another disappeared silently in the deep sea. They had once been the overlords of this sea area, existences that made countless human martial artists tremble with fear. But in front of the golden horned beast, they were just nourishment. Chapter 60. Metal wall in the ice cave, hope for advancement. The seventh one. Peak third stage planetary level, a serpent-shaped king beast over 50 meters long, covered in deep blue scales with a dark red horn on its head. This was the strongest king beast in the waters near Shanghai, second only to the deep-sea magic octopus. It sensed danger and was fleeing toward the deep sea at an astonishing speed. The golden horned beast did not give chase. It stopped in place, its golden vertical pupils staring at the fleeing figure as the golden patterns on its horn lit up. A beam of light shot out, drawing a straight golden line through the dark seawater. Dozens of kilometers away, the serpent-shaped king beast's body suddenly stiffened. A fist-sized hole had appeared in its skull. Pierced straight through. Devour. ... In the waters near Shanghai, all king-level monsters, 7 in total, were slaughtered in a single night. The golden horned beast floated to the surface and looked up at the sky. The moon was large, and moonlight spilled over the sea, making the waves shimmer. Its aura was a whole lot stronger than it had been a few hours ago. I killed them all, and yet this is the only amount of improvement I get. Yan Ning's consciousness frowned slightly. The golden horned beast had devoured 7 king beasts, and combined with the accumulated energy from digesting the eggshell, it had finally broken through from the early stage of the third stage to the fourth stage. But it wasn't enough. He wanted the fifth stage, the sixth stage, and even more. Yan Ning scanned the range of his perception, but within a 100-mile radius, there was no longer any aura of a king-level monster. They were all dead. In the waters near Shanghai, everything that could be killed had been killed. It's too slow, Yan Ning sighed. Too slow, too slow, too slow. One must realize that while the golden horned beast's bloodline was heaven-defying, the massive amount of energy required for its growth was also heaven-defying. The energy needed for a golden horned beast to go from planetary level stage 3 to 4 was enough for an ordinary planetary level martial artist to rush from stage 1 to stage 6. The monster resources on Azure were simply not enough. By the time the golden horned beast reaches the 6th or 7th stage of the planetary level, even if all the monsters on Azure are killed, it probably won't be enough energy to break through to the astral rank. Yan Ning's consciousness fell into deep thought. It wasn't that he hadn't considered this problem. The growth path of the golden horned beast was nothing more than devouring metal, devouring energy, and devouring all matter containing energy. On Azure Star, the life energy of monsters was just one type. But the total amount of monsters was limited. Even if he slaughtered and devoured every single king-level monster on Azure, reaching the 6th or 7th stage of the planetary level would be the absolute limit. To break through to the astral rank, he had to find a new source of energy. If only there were rare metals. The thought flashed through Yan Ning's mind. The golden horned beast's favorite food wasn't actually flesh and blood, but metal, all kinds of rare metals, energy ores, and special substances only found in the universe. The energy density contained in those things far exceeded the flesh and blood of monsters. But the problem was, did such things exist on Azure Star? Yan Ning's train of thought suddenly stalled. He suddenly remembered something. Operation Ice Freeze. That ice cave. That metal wall. Back then, he had used the arc blade disc to try and cut that metal wall, only to find it was extremely difficult to cut. The arc blade disc was a planetary-level psychic power weapon. Every one of its 196 blades was sharp enough to easily slice through the scales of an S-class monster lord. Yet, against that metal wall, it could only leave a shallow scratch. What did that mean? It meant the material of that metal wall was at least at the peak of the planetary level, or possibly even at the astral rank. Wait. Yan Ning's consciousness suddenly jolted. That metal wall had been sealed under the ice for who knows how many years, and it had even sealed the energy fluctuations of the Muya crystal so tightly that almost none leaked out. How could metal of this level appear on Azure Star? There was only one possibility: it wasn't a mineral native to Azure Star, but had fallen from the universe. A meteorite, spaceship wreckage, or something else. No matter what it was, that kind of metal was very likely something the golden horned beast could devour. Moreover, if the material of that metal wall really was at the astral rank, then its energy density would far exceed all the monsters on Azure combined. Yan Ning's heart rate suddenly accelerated. If he remembered correctly, the location of that ice cave was still over 1,000 kilometers away from the North Pole. In other words, it was outside the territory of the white giant beast. Though it was close, it wasn't in the core area after all. This move undoubtedly reduced the risk significantly. It's worth a gamble. Yan Ning calculated quickly. If that metal wall could really be devoured, it could at least let the golden horned beast reach the 5th or even 6th stage. By then, even if he faced that white giant beast, he would have an absolute chance of winning. What's more, that white giant beast might not necessarily leave its core area. Yan Ning recalled Qin Mufeng's assessment. King-level monsters have extremely strong territorial awareness. As long as one doesn't enter its core area, it won't take the initiative to attack. The ice cave was over 1,000 kilometers from the pole, so it should still be within the safety zone. It's decided. Yan Ning's consciousness withdrew from the golden horned beast clone and returned to his original body. Nanjong Base City. Yan Ning opened his eyes and sat up from the sofa. Outside the window, it wasn't light yet. The living room was very quiet. His 4 wives and 4 children were all sleeping in their respective rooms. He glanced at his communication watch. It was 4 in the morning. At this hour, old Qin shouldn't be asleep yet. Sure enough, less than 10 seconds after the message was sent, the communication was connected. What? You're going directly to the North Pole Realm Circle? All in one step? Are you kidding me? Qin Mufeng's voice came through the communication watch, carrying unbelievable shock. Yan Ning omitted the details about the golden horned beast and the metal wall, only saying that his strength had improved after the cleanup in Shanghai and that he wanted to scout the situation in the North Pole Realm Circle and check on that white giant beast while he was at it. No, Qin Mufeng said categorically, absolutely not. Why? You're asking me why? Qin Mufeng's voice changed its pitch. Yan Ning, you are now Azure's last hope. That strike in Shanghai was seen by all of Azure. Everyone is counting on you now. I know. You know jack squat. Qin Mufeng uncharacteristically swore. If something happens to you, how am I supposed to explain it to Shuyu? How do I explain it to the people? How do I explain it to Honglong, who is currently gambling his life in the SO1 ruins? Yan Ning remained silent. In that battle at Shanghai, you already proved yourself. Qin Mufeng's tone softened a bit, but remained resolute. What you need to do now is move steadily, one step at a time, from south to north, clearing one base city after another, pushing the beast tide back bit by bit, instead of trying to do it all in one step and going to your death. I'm not going to my death. You're going to the North Pole Realm Circle alone to face a white giant beast that even Hong and Honglong couldn't defeat together. If that's not going to your death, what is? Qin Mufeng took a deep breath and lowered his voice, but the urgency in his tone was not diminished in the slightest. Yan Ning, take my advice. You're not alone anymore. You are Shuyu's husband, the father of 4 children, and Azure's. See suppressing Yan Ning. Standing in that position, you aren't just living for yourself anymore. I understand, but I'm certain of my success, Yan Ning said. How can you be certain? Yan Ning thought for a moment. It really wasn't easy to explain. He wouldn't reveal a single word about the system, so he could only say, "You'll know when the time comes." Yan Ning. Qin Mufeng's voice rose another octave. But Yan Ning had already hung up the call. Chapter 61, Director Yan Ning persuaded. Kunlun Base City, War God Palace. Qin Mufeng sat in the conference room, his face livid. On the holographic screen, Director Yan Ning's communication had already been disconnected. The conference room was packed with people. 5 of the 6 inspectors were present, over 20 chairmen attended via holographic projection, and almost all core members of the War God Palace were there. Everyone had heard the conversation just now. Has he gone mad? Inspector Liu was the first to speak, equally incredulous. Going to the North Pole Realm Circle alone. That's a place where even Hong suffered a massive loss. I don't think he's gone mad. Inspector Liu shook his head. He's simply become overconfident. After that strike in Shanghai, all of Azure is singing his praises. He's a young man, he can't handle being put on such a pedestal. If it were me in my youth, I would be even more arrogant than him. I disagree. A white-haired old war god stood up. I've interacted with Yan Ning, he's not that kind of person. Making this decision must involve his own considerations. Considerations? What consideration could be more important than his life? Then you tell me, who can stop him now? The old war god countered. Hong is in the SO1 ruins, Inspector Qin can't stop him, which of you thinks you can stop him? The conference room fell silent for a moment. Indeed, who could stop him? After that strike in Shanghai, Yan Ning had effectively become the #1 person in Azure. No one knew exactly how strong his true power was. But to kill a third-stage planetary-level king beast with a single strike without even looking back, this kind of combat power was something no one present could achieve. Even Inspector Qin, at the 5th-stage planetary level, couldn't do it. After all, the current strength of monsters still far exceeded that of human martial artists. We have to stop him even if we can't. Qin Mufeng finally spoke, his voice hoarse. He is Azure's last hope, we cannot let him take such risks. How do we stop him? Inspector Liu spread his hands in a gesture of helplessness. He is now Yan Ning of Shanghai. The public sees him as a savior. If you stop him by force, will the public agree? Will he agree? Then let the public persuade him. Zhao Zhengguo, who had been silent all along, suddenly spoke. Everyone's eyes turned toward him. Mobilize the official media to release the news that Yan Ning is heading to the North Pole realm. Zhao Zhengguo said, don't mention the danger directly, but subtly reveal the true situation of the North Pole realm circle, the strength of that white giant beast, the fact that Hong lost an arm, and the truth that we were forced to retreat to the 66 degrees north latitude. Are you crazy? Qin Mufeng turned sharply. Once this news leaks, social panic will it be more serious than Yan Ning's death? Zhao Zhengguo's single sentence left Qin Mufeng speechless. What we need to do now is not make decisions for Yan Ning. Zhao Zhengguo said, it's to let him see the will of the people, to let him know he is not alone. Him being alive is more important than anything. If we have to retreat, we retreat. It's just a few more years of hardship, but Yan Ning, this pillar of ours, must never fall. The conference room remained silent for a long time. Qin Mufeng closed his eyes and took a deep breath. Let's do it that way. ... That same morning, major official media outlets simultaneously released a piece of news. Open Blacklands bracket director Yan Ning plans to travel to the North Pole Realm Circle to further investigate the movements of King Beast's close Blacklands bracket. The wording was very restrained, without any words like danger or risk. However, the accompanying image was a topographical map of the North Pole Realm Circle, with several key pieces of information marked on it. 66 degrees north latitude, Azure's defensive retreat line. North Pole Point, the core territory of the White Giant Beast. And a line of small text. During Operation Ice Freeze, Lord Hong and Inspector Qin Mufeng joined forces but were no match for the White Giant Beast. Lord Hong's right arm was severed, and Inspector Qin Mufeng's left arm was fractured. This was the first time the authorities had directly admitted the failure of Operation Ice Freeze. As soon as the news broke, the entire internet exploded again. What? Lord Hong lost an arm. Operation Ice Freeze failed. I knew it. I knew it wasn't normal that Lord Hong hadn't appeared for 6 months. So something really did happen. Wait, isn't your focus wrong? Yan Ning is going to the North Pole Realm Circle. He's going to fight that white giant beast. No way, right? That strike in Shanghai was indeed fierce, but that was a 3rd stage planetary level king beast. What level is the white giant beast? Lord Hong and Inspector Chin couldn't even beat it together. Director Yan, don't go. Take it steady. We can afford to wait. Exactly, if we have to retreat, we retreat. It's just a few more years of hardship. If something happens to you, Azure is truly finished. Can we get the hashtag Yan Ning don't go to the top? Let Director Yan hear our voices. Hashtag Yan Ning don't go, message from Shanghai. You've already saved Shanghai, don't gamble with your life again. In just a few short hours. The topic, Yan Ning don't go, soared to the top of the trending list. The tone of the comment section was completely different from after the Shanghai strike. Before, it was carnival, praise, and, one man, one blade can protect Shanghai. Now, it was mostly worry, pleading, and, you being alive is more important than anything. In the comment section of the Azure Daily, the most liked comment was just one sentence. Director Yan, the mountain can be moved slowly, but the pillar must not fall. Likes, 9.125 million. Nanjing Base City. Yan Ning sat on the balcony, scrolling through his phone. Trending number 1, Yan Ning don't go. Trending number 2, the mountain can be moved slowly. Trending number 3, Director Yan being alive is more important than anything. He read through them one by one. Someone left a message saying they were a fisherman from Shanghai. Before, they were terrified every time they went to sea, but now they weren't afraid because Director Yan is there. Someone said they were a student. They used to feel the future was hopeless, but now they wanted to apply to the War God Academy because they wanted to become someone like Director Yan. Someone said they were a retired old war god who had fought monsters for 30 years and was covered in scars. They originally felt their life was worth it, but after seeing Yan Ning strike, they felt they could fight for a few more years. Each one was from a real person, every word sincere. Yan Ning put down his phone and looked into the distance. On the horizon, the sun was rising. The mountain can be moved slowly. He muttered to himself, repeating those words. How should he put it? This feeling was a bit wonderful. If he had to say, it was more of a sense of being needed, trusted, and entrusted, a sense of groundedness. Then I'll move it slowly. He stood up and walked into the living room. His 4 wives were all awake, holding the children and waiting for him. Qin Shuyu looked at him, her eyes slightly red, but she didn't speak. Shen Yao was already wiping away tears. Zhao Zixuan bit her lip, not saying a word. Su Wanqing lowered her head, her hands holding Yan Qing trembling slightly. I'm not going. The 4 women looked up simultaneously, the light in their eyes instantly brightening. Not for now. Yan Ning added, I'll clear the beast tides in the south first, pushing through base city by base city, from south to north, taking it slowly. Qin Shuyu finally spoke, her voice trembling slightly. Really? Really? Yan Ning walked over, took Yan Shu from her arms, and kissed the little fellow's forehead. The mountain can be moved slowly, but the pillar must not fall, that's what you all said. Shen Yao laughed through her tears. That's what the netizens said. It's all the same. It's all the same. Yan Ning held his son, looking at the rising sun outside the window. Chapter 62, Who Said I'm Not Going? When the news broke, the entire internet was in an uproar. It wasn't just simple revelry. Rather, it was a sense of relief, like having survived a disaster. Director Yan isn't going. He's not going. Take down the hashtag Yan Ning don't go hashtag. Change it to hashtag long live Director Yan hash. Not long live, but safe. Director Yan, it's enough as long as you are safe and sound. Mountains can be pushed back slowly, but the mountain must not fall. I will remember this sentence for a lifetime. The Azure Daily spoke out again with only one sentence. He heard it. Accompanying photo, the back of Yan Ning holding Yan Shu while sitting on the balcony, with the rising sun in the distance. Likes, 102 million. Deep in the ocean, the golden horned beast opened its eyes, a flash of light passing through its golden vertical pupils. Not going. Who said I'm not going? Yan Ning's consciousness smiled within the golden horned beast's body. The original body isn't going, but the clone is. That should be fine, right? The golden horned beast lashed its tail and dove into the deep sea, swimming silently toward the North Pole. Sunlight could not penetrate these hundreds of meters of seawater. But the golden light was exceptionally dazzling in the darkness. North Chin Base City. Located in the north-central part of the Azure continent, it was surrounded by mountains and vast forests. Unlike the marine beast tide of Shanghai, North Chin's threats came from the sky and the mountain forests. The number of avian flying monsters was the highest in the world, and the density of terrestrial monsters was equally staggering. According to the latest Federation statistics, the total number of monsters on the outskirts of North Chin was not inferior to Shanghai at all. In fact, because of the complex terrain, the difficulty of clearing them was even higher. Yan Ning took out the mithril guards from the system space, activated them, and set them to Guardian mode. 2. Silver-white metal giants stood silently in the corner of the living room, their deep blue eyes scanning the surroundings. While I am away, they will guard you. Yan Ning said to his 4 wives, unless you encounter a life or death danger, they will not act. But once they do, nothing below the 5th stage of the planetary level can get near this house. Shen Yao held Yan Shi, her eyes slightly red. Brother Ning, didn't you say you weren't going? I said I wasn't going to the North Pole realm. Yan Ning smiled. North Chin is in the south, it doesn't count as the North Pole realm. Zhao Zixuan gave him a white look, sophistry. Don't worry. Yan Ning hugged the 4 children one by one. North Chin doesn't have that white giant beast. For me, it's just a change of scenery to practice my blade. He paused and glanced at the silent Qin Shuyu in the corner. Shuyu, about your grandfather's side, help me keep it a secret. Qin Shuyu nodded without saying much. She knew better than anyone that once this man decided on something, no one could stop him. North Chin Base City. Combat Command Center. On the massive holographic screen, the topographical map of the North Chin outskirts was covered in dense red dots. The density was so high it made one's scalp tingle. Director Yan's private plane has landed, a staff officer reported. He didn't bring many people, only himself. Alone. Lin Beiyu, the chairman of North Chin, frowned. Lin Beiyu, a peak advanced war god, 60 years old, had operated in the north for most of his life and was known for being steady. He had naturally heard of the commotion Yan Ning caused in Shanghai and had looked into it deeply. Instantly killing the deep-sea magic octopus with one blade was indeed shocking. But North Chin was not Shanghai. The beast tide in Shanghai was dominated by marine monsters, which were large and relatively slow-moving. North Chin's beast tide was dominated by avian and forest-dwelling beasts, which were fast, had diverse attack methods, and were impossible to guard against. Did he make any requests? Yes. First, do not send anyone to follow him. Second, the aerial cameras must be ultra-strong anti-magnetic models, ordinary ones won't do. Lin Beiyu was stunned for a moment. Not wanting people to follow was understandable, after all, experts all had their quirks more or less. But ultra-strong anti-magnetic aerial cameras. That level of equipment was used for filming in environments with strong magnetic field interference and was specialized gear capable of withstanding a king beast. They were extremely expensive, and the entire North Chin only had 3. What does he want those for? Lin Beiyu was puzzled. He didn't say. Perhaps he needs them for subsequent video promotion. Lin Beiyu was silent for a moment, then waved his hand. Give them to him. Give him whatever he wants. In addition, notify all war god squads to stand by. Without my order, no one is allowed to approach Director Yan's combat zone. Yes. North Chin outskirts. Yan Ning stood on a mountain ridge, overlooking the dense forest below and the distant mountains. The wind howled, mixed with the roars of distant monsters. The air was thick with the scent of humus and blood. The environment is indeed more complex than Shanghai. But it doesn't matter. Yan Ning raised his right hand. The 196 blades of the arc blade disc flew out from his waist, like schools of small silver fish, slowly swimming around his body. Since the golden horned beast isn't here, it's a good time to practice my psychic power. The world only knew that he used a blade. The 9 ink fall blades, one blade to suppress Shanghai. But many people seemed to have forgotten that he, Ning, was a dual-class planetary stage expert. Martial artist and psyker master, he had always advanced in both simultaneously. Let's begin. Ning's figure flashed as he leapt down from the mountain ridge. North Chin Base City, Combat, Command Center. On the holographic screen, the 3 ultra-strong anti-magnetic aerial cameras had already taken flight, transmitting footage from different angles. The moment the image stabilized, the entire command center went silent. What were they seeing? It wasn't blade light, nor was it close-quarters combat. It was a silver school of fish. The 196 blades, each like an independent silver fish, shuttled and danced at incredible speeds through the sky, the dense forest, and the mountain streams. They weren't flying randomly, they had a clear division of labor. Some were responsible for cutting, some for pursuit, some for blocking escape routes, and some for early warnings. They were like a well-trained army. Ning didn't even lift a finger. He just stood in the center of the battlefield with his hands behind his back, calmly looking ahead. Those silver blades were like extensions of his will, they hit wherever he directed, the blades moving as soon as the thought occurred. A Lord-level avian monster dove down from high altitude, its speed so fast it was almost impossible for the naked eye to capture. But before it could even get within 300 meters of Ning, 3 blades had already shot toward it from 3 different directions simultaneously. The blades pierced through its wings, its skull, and its heart. The Lord-level monster didn't even have time to let out a scream before it turned into a cloud of blood mist. An S-class Lord, a giant bear over 15 meters long, charged out from the dense forest, each step making the ground tremble. Dozens of blades swept in like a silver storm, drilling into the bear's nose, mouth, eyes, and ears, and shredding it from within the skull. The giant bear's body suddenly stiffened, then crashed to the ground, bleeding from its 7 orifices. Not a single drop of blood splashed onto Ning. He didn't even blink. 1, 2, 3. Lord-level monsters fell like wheat being harvested. The efficiency was staggering. A martial artist fighting in close quarters, killing one monster with 1 blade, was already amazing combat power. But the crowd control ability of a psyker master in this kind of large-scale clearing demonstrated a crushing advantage. Wherever the blade stream reached, not a blade of grass remained. Moreover, Ning's psychic power seemed inexhaustible. From the beginning until now, his aura hadn't fluctuated in the slightest, and the speed of those silver fish hadn't slowed down at all. Is he even human? Someone in the command center murmured. Lin Beiyu stood before the screen, his lips trembling slightly. He had seen many psyker masters. North Chin Base City had 3 psyker masters, and they were all war god level. But controlling 3 to 5 blades was already their limit, their control distance didn't exceed 200 meters, and their continuous combat time was less than 10 minutes. What about Ning? 196 blades. A control distance of at least 1,000 meters. And the combat time, it had been over an hour since the start, and there were no signs of stopping. What was even more terrifying was that those blades weren't just flying out and slashing wildly, they had precise coordination and tactical intent. What kind of powerful psychic power and exquisite control ability did this require? Cultivating as both a martial artist and a psyker master, Lin Beiyu's voice was a bit dry, and still reaching this level. No one could answer him. Because no one had ever seen such a monster. Chapter 63, Silverfish Filling the Sky, Golden Horn Lands. The battle lasted for 3 hours. When Ning walked out of that dense forest, he left behind the corpses of over 3 King class, 30 Lord class, over 400 beast generals, and tens of thousands of beast soldiers and beast pawns. Not a single drop of blood stained his clothes. His breathing remained steady. He even had time to look up at the aerial drone in the sky and nod slightly. Not bad. Psychic power is more durable than I imagined. It seems the golden horned beast's soul core also provides a bonus to the main body. That afternoon, the official account of North Chin Base City released a short video. It was only 1 minute and 20 seconds long. The style was still similar to the previous one from Shanghai. In the footage, a man in a black combat suit stood in a clearing within the dense forest, hands behind his back, motionless. Around him, silver blades flew all over the sky like a school of fish. Every blade seemed alive, weaving, cutting, and pursuing at incredible speeds. Monsters pounced from the sky, only to be torn apart by the blades. Monsters charged from the ground, only to be strangled and killed by the blades. Monsters burrowed out from underground, and the blades drilled directly into the earth. Not a single monster could get within 300 meters of him. Those silver blades were like an impassable chasm. The final frame of the video froze on the image of Yan Ning looking up at the aerial drone. His eyes were calm, without killing intent or fatigue, even devoid of any emotion. It was as if the 3-hour massacre just now was nothing more than a stroll. The caption had only one line. Open black lens bracket video record of North Chin's cleanup operation. Director Yan Ning, Psyker Master, close black lens bracket. ... The moment the short video was released, the entire internet exploded again. If the shock of that one strike in Shanghai was the violent aesthetic of a one-hit kill, this was a different kind of shock, the composure of chatting and laughing while the enemy turned to ashes. Open black lens bracket Azure Daily close black lens bracket reposted with the caption. The world knows of Yan Ning's blade, today they finally witness the Psyker's might. Open black lens bracket Azure China News Agency close black lens bracket reposted with the caption. 196 blades, 3 hours, 4 king class, 30 lords, 400 beast generals, and not a drop of blood. This isn't a battle, this is the art of slaughter. Open black lens bracket Azure CCTV News close black lens bracket reposted with the caption. A dual practitioner of martial artist and Psyker Master, reaching the world's peak in both. In Azure's history, there has never been such a person. Yan Ning is redefining the upper limits of humanity. The comment section was completely boiling over. Holy crap, holy crap, holy crap. I actually forgot director Yan was also a Psyker Master. A double planetary stage. 196 blades, what kind of concept is that? For a normal Psyker Master, controlling 3 to 5 is the limit. How did he do it? And look closely, those blades aren't just flying randomly, they have tactical coordination. Just how powerful must his psychic power be? 3 hours without panting, no blood. What kind of endurance is this? I admit, that strike in Shanghai made me think he was a god of war. But today's video makes me feel, he is a god. Invincible in close combat as a martial artist, and unparalleled at range as a Psyker Master. How is anyone else supposed to play? The hashtag Yan Ning Psyker Master must trend. Let everyone know that Yan Ning's trump card isn't just a single blade. Have you guys considered a question? Since even his psychic power is this strong, just how many more trump cards does he have? Don't bother thinking, you won't figure it out. Anyway, Director Yan is just awesome, and that's all there is to it. War God Palace, Council Hall. On the holographic screen, the projections of 6 inspectors and over 20 chairmen sat in a circle. Qin Mufeng sat in the main seat, his expression complex. Old Qin. Inspector Liu was the first to speak, his tone teasing. This grandson-in-law of yours, just how much more is he hiding? I don't know, Qin Mufeng answered honestly. I really don't know. With that strike in Shanghai last time, we thought that was his full power, Inspector Liu said, shaking his head with a smile. But today tells us he didn't even draw his blade, he slaughtered half of North Chin using only psychic power. That's not the point. A white-haired chairman interjected, the point is, he practices both as a martial artist and a Psyker Master, and has reached the world's peak in both. This means his combat style has almost no weaknesses. Invincible up close, and invincible at range. Doesn't that mean he's worth 2 honglongs by himself? Someone joked. Not 2 honglongs. Qin Mufeng said seriously, it's a different dimension of strength. Honglong is strong in physical body and secret techniques, while Yan Ning is strong in versatility and potential. The hall went silent for a moment. Then, Inspector Liu cleared his throat and said with a smile, speaking of potential. Old Chin, I have a proposal. What proposal? Such good genes shouldn't be wasted. Inspector Liu smiled like an old fox. Shuyu is your granddaughter, we won't compete with you for that, but Azure is so big, and there are many female martial artists with high potential and good genes. Why not introduce a few more to Yan Ning? Qin Mufeng's face instantly darkened. What are you saying? I'm saying, have more children. Inspector Liu didn't hold back. Look, Yan Shu was born with planetary-level genetic potential. What kind of concept is that? It means Yan Ning's descendants are born strong. Every additional descendant like that is another layer of security for Azure's future. Besides, it's not like he's divorcing his wife. Shuyu is the first wife, her status is very stable. Having a few more sisters would make things lively. You said it yourself, we within Azure must take the lead and take on more reproduction tasks. We old bones are no longer useful, it's the perfect time for the youth to show their skills. Qin Mufeng's face grew even darker. What did it mean to lift a stone only to drop it on one's own feet? Old Liu, do you believe I'll come over and beat you up right now? Hey, I'm doing this for the sake of Azure. Inspector Liu raised his hands in surrender. If you're not willing, then forget it, pretend I didn't say anything. The others burst into laughter. The atmosphere was unusually relaxed. On the other side, deep sea. A high-speed golden shadow kept moving through, with beasts avoiding it. It had also sporadically devoured over 10 king beasts. Finally, it arrived near the location in its memory. On the distant coastline, a blizzard howled, and the world was a vast expanse of white. Then, a golden figure leapt out of the seawater. The figure descended like a king. Inside the North Pole realm circle, a white king beast lay on the 10,000-year-old ice layer, heat constantly rising from its body, its breath stirring up waves of heat. Just then, it suddenly snapped open its deep blue pupils, eyes trembling, as if it had sensed some extraordinary aura. But this aura was too far away, preventing it from fully perceiving the specific danger, and it had appeared for only a fleeting moment before vanishing. An illusion. Once it finished digesting the last of its life energy, it would lead its army south to prove to humanity who the true king of Azure Star was. Chapter 64, 1 month, 3 ranks. The underground ice cavern. There was no difference here from when he had left a month ago. Even the corpses of the slain king beasts were still there, it was just that in the extreme cold of dozens of degrees below zero, they had long since turned into ice sculptures. Yan Ning's golden horned beast clone passed through this sculpture garden, and quickly found the location of the metal wall from before. The ice layer was a bit thicker than when he had left. But in the golden horned beast's perception, the things beneath the ice layer were what mattered. That faint, almost imperceptible metallic aura, under the retrieval of the legacy memory, was as clear as a flame in the dark night. It's a pity there's no auxiliary optical computer. This thought flashed through Yan Ning's mind. He knew this was a rare metal, but he didn't know its specific quality, rank, or energy density. The legacy memory had it. But it required him to actively search for it, rather than automatically identifying it like an optical computer. It doesn't matter, I'll know once I taste it. The golden horned beast raised its right claw. A flash of claw light streaked past, slicing through the several-meter-thick ice layer to reveal the grayish-black metal wall beneath. Under the reflection of the claw light, faint ice-blue light patterns flowed across the surface. The golden horned beast lowered its head, opened its mouth, and bit off a chunk. A harsh grinding sound erupted from the collision of metal and teeth, and debris splattered everywhere. Then, it swallowed. The legacy memory whirred crazily at this moment, and a massive amount of information flooded into Yan Ning's consciousness. Soon, the search results surfaced. Open black lens bracket mystic cold iron, A9 rank metal close black lens bracket. A relatively common cold attribute rare metal in the universe, mostly born in the deep crust of extremely cold environments. The energy density is not high, but it excels in its purity, having almost no impurities, and the digestion speed is extremely fast. For a planetary-level golden horned beast, it is a quite ideal ration. A9 rank. Yan Ning quickly performed a conversion. According to the universal rating of the universe, from A1 to A9, it corresponds to the 1st to 9th stages of the planetary level. A9 rank metal is exactly the upper limit that the golden horned beast can efficiently absorb at the planetary level stage. Anything higher would be astral rank materials, and with the golden horned beast's current digestive capacity, it would be twice the effort for half the result. The drawbacks are also very obvious. Ning frowned slightly. The energy density of mystic cold iron is indeed not high. A fist-sized piece of mystic cold iron contains less energy than an S-rank lord. If he wants to rely on devouring mystic cold iron to rush from planetary level 3rd stage to 6th or 7th stage, the amount needed is an astronomical figure. At the very least, tens of millions of tons. Tens of millions of tons. Ning almost laughed out loud. He looked around. This metal wall was just the tip of the iceberg. In his perception, deep underground, the vein of mystic cold iron was like a sleeping dragon, stretching towards the direction of the North Pole realm circle. How much is the specific reserve? He didn't know, but it definitely wouldn't be low. So what if the energy density is low? The digestion speed is fast. It's abundant and filling. Ning did not hesitate. Start devouring. The golden horned beast opened its mouth and took a bite of the metal wall. Large chunks of mystic cold iron were torn off and swallowed directly into its belly, entering a special space within its body. The devouring talent was activated. The metal was rapidly broken down, digested, and converted into the purest energy within its body, merging into every cell of the golden horned beast. Its aura began to climb. The distribution of the mystic cold iron vein was not concentrated. In some places, it was tens of meters thick, in others, it was just a thin layer scattered between the rock strata. The golden horned beast followed the direction of the vein, devouring while moving deeper underground. The speed was not fast. But it was steady. Devour for a while, digest for a while, then continue devouring. Ning was not in a rush. He had plenty of time. From the 1st day to the 7th day, the golden horned beast devoured approximately 2 million tons of mystic cold iron. Its aura climbed all the way from planetary level 4th stage to the peak of the 4th stage. It was just one step away from the 5th stage. The 8th day, a rich vein, with a single point reserve exceeding 500,000 tons. The golden horned beast stayed here for a whole day, devouring, digesting, devouring again, and digesting again. When the last piece of mystic cold iron was swallowed into its belly, its aura surged violently again. Planetary level 5th stage. Feeling that surging power, Ning had only one thought in his heart. So satisfying. From the 9th day to the 14th day, the vein began to become sparse, but the quality instead improved somewhat. Faint dark blue patterns began to appear in some of the mystic cold iron, and the golden horned beast's devouring speed also increased accordingly. The digestion speed was also increasing. 5th stage early stage, 5th stage middle stage, 5th stage peak. The 15th day. Another rich vein. This time, the golden horned beast did not hesitate and lunged directly at it. Devour, digest, breakthrough. Planetary level 6th stage. In half a month, it leapt from the 4th stage to the 6th stage. If applied to a human martial artist, this speed would be wishful thinking, but for the golden horned beast, it was simply because it had found the right ration. From the 16th day to the 30th day, the distribution of the vein went deeper and deeper, getting closer and closer to the core area of the North Pole realm circle. Ning did not choose to continue going deeper. Right at the edge of the vein, along the direction of the mystic cold iron, he continued to devour. 6th stage early stage, 6th stage middle stage, 6th stage peak. The 30th day, the golden horned beast swallowed the last visible piece of mystic cold iron, and its aura shook violently. Planetary level 7th stage, 1 month, 3 ranks. From planetary level 3rd stage to planetary level 7th stage. The golden horned beast stood in the depths of the underground ice cavern, its scales emitting a faint golden light, and the remains of the devoured vein were reflected in its vertical pupils. Enough. Ning's consciousness let out a long sigh. Planetary level 7th stage golden horned beast. Peak universe bloodline. Innate secret technique. Legacy combat instinct. Even if that white giant beast is planetary level 9th stage, he can easily kill it in one claw stroke. Taking a step back, you are merely an indigenous monster on Azure Star. Can your genetic potential compare to a peak universe race? Now, I can casually tear that king beast apart, right? But Yan Ning was not in a hurry to leave. He stood at the end of the devoured vein, and a thought flashed through his consciousness. After a month, I haven't even discovered a single Muya crystal. Muya crystal. That kind of crystal containing pure life energy, he had previously discovered 4 in the ice cavern. According to common sense, Muya crystals should not appear on Azure Star. This level of energy crystal can only be formed in certain special environments in the universe. Unless Yan Ning's consciousness condensed slightly. There is some kind of previously undiscovered ruin somewhere underground near this North Pole realm circle. Once this thought appeared, it could no longer be dismissed. Muya crystals, the mystic cold iron vein, and that white giant beast that suddenly grew to a strength that even Hong and Qin Mufeng could not contend with when they joined forces. Could these things be related? Wait. Yan Ning's consciousness sank abruptly. Did the king beast suddenly grow to such strength also have to do with this? If the white giant beast also obtained an opportunity in the ruins, or even resources higher level than mystic cold iron, then its growth rate might not necessarily be slower than the golden horned beast. Chapter 65, Mystic Frozen Iron Mother, the Third Inkfall Blade. Yan Ning fell into a dilemma. If he retreated now to scavenge rare metals from other parts of the Azure Star and returned for a final showdown after his strength had risen by 1 or 2 more ranks, it would certainly be the safer path. However, he could not guarantee whether the white giant beast had truly obtained an opportunity from the ruins. What if its growth rate was even faster than his own? What if, by the time he reached the 8th or 9th level of the planetary level, it had already broken through to the astral rank? Though the possibility was slim. Yan Ning disliked accidents, he needed to nip every possibility in the bud. What he wanted was absolute control. What should I do? Yan Ning closed his eyes, his consciousness sinking into the legacy memories of the golden horned beast. A massive amount of information surged in like a tide. He flipped through every record concerning mystic cold iron, trying to find some overlooked detail. After exerting some effort, finally, in an extremely obscure entry that was almost classified as irrelevant, he found the answer. Open black lens bracket mystic cold iron. If the reserves exceed 10,000 cubic meters, there is a high probability of B2 grade mystic frozen iron mother being nurtured. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket mystic frozen iron mother. Energy density is over 100 times that of ordinary mystic cold iron, and it has a certain probability of containing trace fragments of the origin law of the cold attribute water. It has an excellent body tempering effect for planetary level golden horned beasts. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Note: mystic frozen iron mother is usually located at the deepest part of the ore vein, near the fault zone where geothermal heat and extreme cold intersect. Close black lens bracket. Yan Ning snapped his eyes open. B2 grade. B2 corresponded to the 2nd level of the astral rank. Although it was only a material rank and not a true astral rank life form, the energy density it contained far exceeded A9 grade mystic cold iron. Moreover, it came with a body tempering effect and origin law fragments. This wasn't just rations anymore, this was a damn opportunity. Find it. The golden horned beast changed direction, drilling toward the fault zone deeper within the ore vein. 3 days. A full 3 days. Yan Ning shuttled through the deep underground, following the direction of the mystic cold iron vein, pushing deeper bit by bit. The further down he went, the lower the temperature, the harder the rock layers, and the greater the pressure. But the golden horned beast scales were enough to withstand it all. On the evening of the 3rd day, at the end of an underground river that was almost completely frozen, Yan Ning finally sensed that aura. It wasn't the icy aura of mystic cold iron. Rather, it was a deeper, purer chill, as if it could freeze even time itself. The golden horned beast raised its right claw and slammed it down. Boom! The rock layer shattered. A natural cavern about 3 meters square appeared before his eyes. The cavern walls were covered in ice-blue crystals, each one emitting a faint, cold light. And in the very center of the cavern, a piece of metal the size of a fist floated quietly in midair. Its color was much deeper than mystic cold iron, almost a dark ink blue, with light patterns like a galaxy flowing on its surface. Every time those patterns flickered, the temperature in the cavern dropped another degree. The mystic frozen iron mother. B2 grade. Ning didn't even need to use his legacy memories to confirm, just by the golden horned beast's instinct. He could feel that the energy contained in this fist-sized piece of metal far exceeded all the mystic cold iron he had devoured before combined. One bite. The golden horned beast opened its mouth and swallowed the mystic frozen iron mother into its belly. But it didn't digest it. Instead, it sent this precious metal into its internal special space, intending to find an absolutely safe place. Before digesting it, retreat first. Ning made his decision. With the mystic frozen iron mother in hand, the golden horned beast had already soared from the 3rd level to the 7th level. After digesting this iron mother, it could at least rise another 1 or 2 ranks. By then, an 8th or even 9th level planetary level golden horned beast, paired with the innate secret techniques of a universe peak bloodline. The white giant beast. Below the astral rank, if 1 comes, I'll kill 1, if 2 come, I'll kill a pair. Even if it really did break through to the astral rank. For the golden horned beast, slaying it would just be a matter of a few more claw strikes. Most importantly, Ning hadn't even begun preparing the cultivation of his innate secret techniques. I'll take your king beast life after I finish digesting this. The golden horned beast turned and swam back toward the surface along the path it had come. At the same time, Azure Subcontinent, South. Day 28. Ning's original body had already successively cleared the beast swarms on the outskirts of 2 base cities. The first was Linhai Base City. The second was Zhongyuan Base City. Each was a major hub in the south, and the scale of the beast tides on their outskirts was no less than that of Shanghai. But Ning no longer needed to flex his muscles like he did in Shanghai, so he simply proceeded step by step. Breaking flow opened the path. Cloud-caressing vine harvested. Silverfish cleaned up any that slipped through the net. The efficiency was so high that the combat command centers of both base cities were in a constant state of shock, numbness, shock again. Day 28. On the outskirts of Zhongyuan Base City, the last beast swarm stronghold. Ning stood on a hillside, surrounded by monster corpses covering the mountains and plains. The 196 blades of the arc blade disc were automatically clearing out the last few beast generals that had escaped. The vines of the cloud-caressing vine slithered slowly on the ground, devouring the life essence of Lord-level monsters. Everything was as usual. Ning was even somewhat absent-minded. Most of his consciousness was with the golden horned beast, devouring mystic cold iron, searching for the iron mother, and assessing the threat of the white giant beast. The battle of his original body no longer required his full concentration. But just as he casually controlled a blade to kill an S-rank lord, a strange, serendipitous feeling suddenly welled up from the depths of his heart, a moment of realization. 9 ink fall blades. The first style, breaking flow, emphasized dissevering. The second style, army breaker, emphasized breaking. What about the third style? Ning had never deliberately cultivated the third style because he felt the second style was already sufficient. On the Azure Star, facing these indigenous monsters, Army Breaker was enough to insta-kill any opponent with a single strike. Spending too much time honing it wasn't cost-effective, it was better spent on the golden horned beast's advancement. Once the realm rose, if the proficiency was enough, everything would fall into place naturally. But at this moment, in the instant he controlled the blade to kill that S-rank lord, he saw it. Not with his eyes. His consciousness saw that lord's body structure, the flow of energy, the fatal weaknesses, and how the angle, force, and speed of the blade should be adjusted to push the essence of break to its limit. No, it wasn't break either. It was extinguish. The third style of the 9 ink fall blades, World Extinguisher. One strike out, all things extinguished. Ning's hand unconsciously gripped the hilt of his battle saber. He didn't do anything intentional. He simply followed that realization, naturally drawing the saber and swinging it out. Saber light. A nearly transparent, nearly invisible saber light. It extended from the tip of the blade. Silent and soundless, like a cool breeze brushing over the hills, through the dense forest, and across the earth. And then, the earth split open. A fissure several kilometers long and over 100 meters deep extended from beneath Yan Ning's feet, neatly bisecting the hills, the forest, and even a small stream ahead. The edges of the fissure were as smooth as a mirror, as if a part of it had been erased by some irresistible force. The monster corpses, trees, and rocks that were within the range of the fissure all vanished. It was definitely not a trace of an explosion or excavation. They were simply gone. As if they had never existed. Yan Ning maintained his posture of swinging the blade, momentarily stunned. This is the third style. He looked down at the battle saber in his hand. On the edge of the battle saber, there was a hairline crack nearly invisible to the naked eye. This was the price of unleashing the third style with full power. An ordinary battle saber was already unable to withstand saber light of this level. The power is certainly great enough, Yan Ning frowned, but it's a bit too hard on the saber. He sheathed his battle saber and looked up at the sky. In the sky, a high-intensity anti-magnetic aerial camera was slowly circling. Chapter 66. What exactly is his current realm? Zhongyuan Base City. Combat Command Center. Even though everyone had already become immune to most of Yan Ning's actions, even feeling that, no matter what, I won't be surprised, because you're already very strong, and things like that. But when they saw the scene before them, silence. Absolute silence again. On the holographic screen, that crack, several kilometers long and over 100 meters deep, was like a scar carved into the earth, and also carved into everyone's hearts. What kind of blade technique is this? Someone muttered, their voice trembling. No one could answer, because they didn't even know what this move was called. The only thing they knew was that Yan Ning's previous slash in Shanghai, which instantly killed a planetary level third-order king beast, was already outrageous. But at least that slash still allowed one to see the blade aura, hear the sound of breaking through the air, and feel the explosion of energy. But this slash, there was nothing. It was as if Yan Ning had just casually waved his blade, and then the earth cracked open. Look closely, everyone. Shu Kai's voice was hoarse, the edges of the crack are smooth. It wasn't blown open, nor was it cleaved open. It's as if it was erased. Erased. Yes, everything within the range of the crack is gone. It was annihilated. The Combat Command Center fell into silence again. After a long time, someone asked cautiously, Director Yan, what exactly is his realm? No one could answer, because the answer might exceed their cognitive range. The short clip played again. This time, there was no violent aesthetics like the Shanghai slash, nor the artistic sense of the North Chin Psyker Master. There was only a crack. A crack several kilometers long and bottomless. And the back view of Yan Ning sheathing his blade. The phrasing of the major official media began to run out of words. Open black lens bracket Azure Daily close black lens bracket reposted with the caption. He swung his blade, and the earth cracked. We don't know what this blade technique is called, we only know it's very strong. Open black lens bracket Azure Xinhua News close black lens bracket reposted with the caption. 1 month ago, a slash in Shanghai instantly killed a king beast. 1 month later, a slash in Zhongyuan cracked the earth for 1,000 meters. His growth speed is much faster than we imagined. Open black lens bracket Azure CCTV News close black lens bracket reposted with the caption. Cultivating both as a martial artist and a psyker master, using both the arc blade disc and the cloud caressing vine, and now adding a terrifying unknown blade technique, how many trump cards does Yan Ning still have? Comment section. I'm fucking cracking up. What is the name of this blade technique? No, look closely, he just waved it casually. He didn't even take a stance. The previous slash still had visible blade aura, this one doesn't even have that, and then the ground just cracked. What is the principle behind this? Hashtag Yan Ning blade technique please, give this blade technique a name, otherwise how are we supposed to hype it up? No need for a name, just call it, that slash of Yan Ning. From now on, all blade techniques will be divided into 2 types, that slash of Yan Ning, and others. Come to think of it, don't you guys feel that? Yan Ning seems to be getting stronger and stronger. And getting outrageously strong at that. Nonsense. Clearing the beast tides of 3 base cities in 1 month. Anyone else would have been exhausted to death, but he gets more energetic the more he fights. I suspect he isn't planetary level at all, he's at least astral rank. Impossible, according to the records from the ruins, an astral rank breakthrough would cause a commotion on a standard planet. Then what is he? He is Yan Ning. Quote. Makes sense. War God Palace. Inspector Liu looked at the crack on the holographic screen, silent for a long time. Then, he turned to look at Qin Mufeng. Old Qin, can you withstand this slash from your grandson-in-law? Qin Mufeng was also silent for a long time. Of course, I can't. Inspector Liu nodded and didn't ask further. On the holographic screen, the crack remained, like a mark of an era. Before the blade mark was the old era. After the blade mark is the era of Yan Ning. Yan Ning's announcement to the outside world that he was resting finally allowed the entire Azure to breathe a sigh of relief. I said it, even if this person were an Iron Man, it's impossible to sustain such high-intensity combat, right? Clearing the beast tides of 4 base cities in 1 month, Shanghai, North Qin, Linhai, Zhongyuan, which one didn't have millions of beasts? Anyone else would have been exhausted to death long ago. Let him rest, Azure won't miss these few days. On the internet, the public's reaction was surprisingly unanimous. It wasn't disappointment or anything like that, the vast majority felt heartache. After that slash in Shanghai, Yan Ning had transformed from a strong person to a pillar in the hearts of the public. A pillar can hold things up indefinitely. But no one had the heart to let the pillar keep holding them up forever. Meanwhile, the official Azure media took advantage of the momentum to release an official statement regarding Hong's whereabouts. Open black lens bracket Hong, the man who once held up a piece of the sky for Azure with his own strength, has now gone to the SO1 ruins alone to seek a solution to the crisis. Previously, he passed the torch to Yan Ning. Now, Yan Ning proves to us that there has never been a shortage of people who can hold up the sky in this Azure. Close black lens bracket. The accompanying image was an old photo, a side profile of a young Hong, standing on ruins, his battle blade propped on the ground, with mountains and plains of beast corpses behind him. The photo was yellowish in tone, but that aura still rushed at you across time. This was the first time the authorities officially admitted that Hong was not in Azure. Once the news was out, the focus of public opinion quickly shifted from, why hasn't Hong appeared for half a year, to another sharper question. Between Hong and Yan Ning, who is stronger? The debate continued endlessly. Lord Hong is a veteran powerhouse, a planetary-level 5th Order, who fought his way out from the catastrophe era. No one can match his combat experience. Yan Ning instantly killed a planetary-level 3rd Order King Beast with 1 slash without even looking back. Can Lord Hong do that? Lord Hong also killed a King Beast back then. That planetary-level 2nd Order King Beast in the North Great Wilderness wasn't that killed by Lord Hong alone. That was how many years ago? Lord Hong is planetary-level 5th Order. How long has it been since Yan Ning broke through to planetary level? A little over half a year. Can you compare them? A short breakthrough time doesn't mean weak strength. Have you forgotten that slash in Shanghai? Have you forgotten the psychic power in North Qin? Have you forgotten that 1,000-meter crack in Zhongyuan? I still think Lord Hong is stronger. After all, the foundation is there. Arguing to the end, someone threw out a question that no one could answer. Wait, does anyone know what realm Yan Ning is actually at now? The comment section went quiet for a moment. Everyone suddenly realized this question. That's right. We keep hyping up how strong he is, but no one knows what level he actually is. Official data shows Yan Ning broke through to planetary level half a year ago. But since then, it has never been updated. Planetary level 1st Order, 2nd Order, 3rd Order, or higher. It can't be higher, right? With the resources on Azure, going from 1st Order to 2nd Order in half a year is already the limit. But that slash of his, can a planetary level 1st Order instantly kill a 3rd Order King Beast? Have you considered a possibility? Yan Ning's true strength has never been made public. Thinking about it, it's terrifying. In other words, we might have been measuring someone who can instantly kill a third-order king beast with the perception of a planetary-level first-order. So what exactly is Director Yan's level now? Chapter 67, in a few days, swinging the blade north. No one could answer this question. Because the officials had not announced it. Because Yan Ning had never shown his full strength. Because every time he took action, Yan Ning redefined people's understanding of the upper limit. This unknown made the debate even more intense. Some believed Yan Ning was at most planetary level rank 3, relying on secret techniques and equipment to kill enemies above his level. Some believed Yan Ning was at least planetary level rank 5, on the same level as Hongwang. Others believed Yan Ning might have already surpassed Hongwang, because when Hongwang was at planetary level rank 5, he couldn't kill a rank 3 king beast with a single strike. But all of these were merely speculations. The only certainty was that on Azure Star, no one knew Yan Ning's true strength. And this unknown was a power in itself. While the outside world debated endlessly, Yan Ning had already returned to his home in Nanjong Base City. Seclusion. Seclusion again. Shen Yao held Yan Shi, her eyes wide. This time it's a real rest, Yan Ning smiled. By the way, I'll be in seclusion to digest a few things. A month of high-intensity combat. From Shanghai to Linhai to Zhongyuan, clearing beast tides in 4 base cities, though it looked easy, the consumption of psychic power was enormous. More importantly, the mystic frozen iron mother needed time to be digested. The breakthrough of the golden horned beast clone required him to divert a large amount of consciousness to guide and refine it. Instead of being distracted while fighting outside, it was better to go into seclusion for a while and focus on fully absorbing this piece of Iron Mother. How long? Qin Shuyu asked. About a month. Is it safe? Safe, Yan Ning nodded. Safer than fighting outside. Qin Shuyu didn't ask further. She glanced at the 2 silent silver-white metal giants in the corner, the Mithril guards. Yan Ning said they were guardian puppets brought out from the ruins, with planetary level rank 4 combat power. The more powerful and mysterious her man became, the more she became infatuated. The days of seclusion were more fulfilling than Yan Ning had imagined. During the day, he accompanied the children. Yan Shi could already run. She tottered around the living room, shouting, "Daddy, Daddy," her speech slurred but her voice full of energy. Yan Yang was quieter. He liked to sleep on Yan Ning's lap, often sleeping for half a day. Yan Qing inherited Su Wanqing's quiet nature and rarely cried, her large eyes always curiously observing everything around her. Yan Shu was still too small and spent most of his time nursing and sleeping. Occasionally, when he woke up, he would stare at Yan Ning with his bright black eyes and then grin. At night, he worked hard in the fields. Shen Yao, Zhao Zixuan, and Su Wanqing were all in peak physical condition. Shen Yao and Zhao Zixuan were already apprentice rank 4, their physical fitness far exceeded ordinary people, so pregnancy posed no problem. After taking the 10,000-year mutated black root, Su Wanqing's depleted psychic power had recovered, her inner gloom had vanished, and she was much more cheerful than before. She had no objection to the idea of having a whole football team of children. In fact, she was the one who had suggested it. With many children at home, it's lively, Su Wanqing said with a gentle smile on her face. Zhao Zixuan had always admired Yan Ning, ever since he was a god of war, and now she was even more obedient. Shen Yao went without saying, she had always been the one most attached to Yan Ning. Qin Shuyu had just given birth not long ago, so Yan Ning was in no hurry and let her rest well. And so, Yan Ning began his happy and exhausting baby-making mission. While working hard, he also diverted his consciousness to control the golden horned beast clone, digesting the mystic frozen iron mother within his internal world. A month later, at home in Nanjong Base City, the 4 women successfully became pregnant. Qin Shuyu sat on the sofa, holding Yan Shu in her arms. Watching this scene, the corners of her mouth curled up slightly. "You certainly are efficient." She glanced at Yan Ning. Yan Ning rubbed his nose, not daring to respond. Internal world. In 1 month, 90% of the mystic frozen Iron Mother had been digested. The final fragment decomposed and transformed within the golden horned beast's internal space, merging into every cell. Boom! An invisible aura erupted from the golden horned beast. Planetary level rank 8. The golden horned beast raised its head and roared silently. Under the pressure, the rock walls developed dense cracks, and rubble fell in showers. A king. Not like a king. It was a king. Before the planetary level rank 8 golden horned beast, all living creatures on Azure Star were merely ants. Including that white giant beast. That's enough. Ning withdrew his consciousness from the golden horned beast and grinned. A planetary level rank 8 golden horned beast, combined with the innate secret techniques of a peak universe lineage. Even if that white giant beast was at the peak of planetary level rank 9, it would be crushed. Even if it luckily broke through to the astral rank, it would only be a meal on a plate. It's time to end this. That evening, Ning posted a message on his personal social media account, with only one sentence. Open black lens bracket rest is over. In a few days, I will swing my blade north, close black lens bracket. The accompanying image was a photo of his battle blade. The blade that had followed him through countless battles now had fine cracks on its body from executing the third move of the 9 Inkfall blades. The moment the news was posted, the entire internet boiled over. But this time, it wasn't cheers or praise that erupted, but shock, confusion, worry, and advice. Ning's actions were completely unexpected by the war god. Palace. It happened so suddenly that they could only contact Ning immediately to ask what he was planning. Qin Mufeng's holographic projection appeared in Ning's living room, his face ashen. Are you crazy? I'm not crazy. Then do you know what you're saying? Swinging your blade north. Where is the north? It's the North Pole realm circle. It's the lair of that white giant beast. I know. You know jack shit. Qin Mufeng cursed again. Ning, I don't care how strong you are now, but you must understand that the white giant beast is an existence that even Hongwang and I couldn't defeat together. If you go alone, in case. There is no, in case. I am certain. What certainty do you have? The certainty I had a month ago is different from the certainty I have now, Ning said. This month, I've grown stronger again. Qin Mufeng opened his mouth, wanting to say something, but looking into Ning's calm eyes, the words stuck in his throat. He hadn't known Ning for just a day or two. This grandson-in-law of his really never talked big. Are you sure? Qin Mufeng's voice lowered. I'm sure. Then, I'll go with you. No need, Ning shook his head. If you go, I'll have to be distracted taking care of you. Qin Mufeng's face darkened for a moment, but in the end, he didn't argue. In Shanghai Base City, after Zhao Zhengguo received the news, he remained silent for a full 10 minutes. Then, he dialed Ning's communication line. Director Yan, I know I'm not qualified to advise you. But I still want to say one thing. The 30 million people of Shanghai owe you their lives. If anything happens to you, we will never be able to repay you in this lifetime. Nothing will happen, Ning said. How can you guarantee that? I guarantee it. Zhao Zhengguo opened his mouth and finally sighed. Then, come back alive. Okay. Chapter 68. Wait for me to return, bearing the head of that king beast. In North Qin Base City, Lin Beiyu's reaction was more direct. Director Yan, the beast tied in North Qin hasn't been cleared yet. You promised to come. I will come, Ning said. Wait until I resolve the matter in the north, then I will return to continue clearing it. Lin Beiyu remained silent for a long time. Then you, please come back quickly. All right. On the internet, the public's reaction was the most complex. Some supported him. If Director Yan says he can fight, he definitely can. We believe in him. Shanghai's single blade, North Qin's single thought, Zhongyuan's single rift, when has he ever failed to keep his word? Support Director Yan. Kill that white beast. Some were worried, isn't this too fast? It's only been a month. Only a month since Shanghai. Director Yan, please prepare a bit more, we aren't in a rush. If we have to retreat, then we retreat. We can afford to wait. Please don't gamble with your life. Some advised, Director Yan, I beg you, please wait a little longer. Wait for Lord Honglong to come out of the ruins, and go together, the odds of winning will be much higher. It's not that we don't believe in you, it's that the white giant beast is truly too strong. Even Lord Honglong lost an arm, you alone. Mountains can be moved slowly, but the mountain cannot fall. You said that, remember. Others analyzed rationally, looking at Director Yan's track record, his strength increases extremely fast. A month ago, he could kill a Tier 3 king beast with one blade, so a month later, he might be able to fight a Tier 4 or Tier 5 king beast. But the white giant beast is at least Tier 6 or higher, perhaps even Tier 7 or Tier 8. The odds of winning really aren't high. Don't forget, Lord Honglong is a planetary level 5, and joining forces with Inspector Qin, the two of them couldn't defeat it. No matter how strong Director Yan is, can he be stronger than two planetary level 5s? Is it possible that Director Yan's true strength has never been disclosed? Could he already be beyond Tier 5? Where is the evidence? Don't speculate blindly without evidence. You guys can argue, I just hope Director Yan stays safe. Amidst the voices of advice and worry, Ning published a long post. The title had only 2 words, open black lens bracket swinging the blade close black lens bracket. The full text is as follows. The year my parents died on the front lines, I was 6, or maybe 7. Like many stories on Azure, the beast tide came, the house collapsed, they went to the front lines to kill beasts, left me at home, and then, there was no, then. Or rather, holding my parents' urns, looking at those 2 gray-black photos, from that day on, I learned one truth, on Azure, living is not a given, it is earned. Later, I arrived at Nanjong Base City and started killing from the rank of a small soldier. Killing elementary beast soldiers, killing intermediate beast soldiers, killing elementary beast generals. Killing blade by blade, year by year. I have seen too many people die before me. There were those stronger than me, those weaker than me, old people, young people, women, and children. Every one of them wanted to live. But the monsters did not give them a chance. So I do not like to wait. Do not like to wait a little longer. Do not like to move slowly. Because every day I wait, every day I am slow, people die. Those people might not appear on trending searches, there will be no official media issuing obituaries for them, and the War God Palace will not write eulogies for them. But they are also people, they also want to live, and there are people waiting for them to come home. If I wait one more day, another group of them will die. I cannot wait. As for that king beast in the North Pole realm, it is strong, I know. But I am stronger. This is not arrogant talk, this is a fact. My blade is faster than it was a month ago. My telekinetic power is stronger than it was a month ago. My trump cards are more numerous than anyone imagines. It is enough. When the strength is enough, I swing the blade. Swinging the blade, I can win. If I win, the millions of people in the north will live. It is that simple. No need to advise me. No need to wait for me. No need to worry. Wait for me to return. Bearing the head of that king beast. The entire text did not have a single superfluous word, nor a single sentimental sentence, yet every word pierced into the hearts of the readers like a blade. It was not complaining, nor was it some crappy sentimentality or moralizing. It was a strong person stating facts. It was an orphan who crawled out of the ruins, telling everyone why he had come this far. In the comment section, the top liked comment had only 4 words, wait for him to return with the king beast's head. Likes, 200 million. Second highest like, Director Yan, we will wait for you. Bring that beast's head back. Third, he isn't trying to be a hero, he truly believes he can win. This kind of confidence cannot be faked. Fourth, I cried while reading, not because of sentimentality, but because he said, if I wait one more day, another group of them will die. He even cares about people he doesn't know. The War God Palace did not repost this long article. But Chin Mufeng only posted 1 word on his own account, wait. In the comment section of Azure Daily, the official account replied to a netizen's comment, he is the blade of Azure. Once the blade is unsheathed, it will not return empty-handed. Nanjong Base City. Yan Ning put down his communication watch and stood up. In the living room, all 4 wives were present. Even though Yan Ning had already explained the situation earlier that month, they still could not help but worry. I will return, Yan Ning said. We know, Qin Shuyu answered for everyone. Yan Ning hugged each of the 4 children in turn. Then he turned, pushed the door open, and walked into the night. He did not look back. Because there was really no need to. Just an indigenous monster. Even if it obtained an opportunity, how much trouble could it really stir up? Behind him, the blue eyes of the Mithril guards lit up in the darkness, guarding his most precious things. Ahead, the blizzard of the North Pole realm awaited him. And that white giant beast. And the future of Azure. The blade was already unsheathed. There was indeed no reason for it to return empty-handed. High above the sky, the gale howled, and the clouds rolled. A golden figure broke through the clouds, speeding northward at an astonishing pace. Golden horned beast. It was just over 2 meters long, but the pressure originating from its peak universe bloodline made all living creatures within tens of kilometers instinctively tremble. And on the back of this starry sky behemoth, Yan Ning stood with his hands behind his back. I guess this counts as riding myself. Yan Ning looked down at the golden horned beast beneath his feet and felt a strange sense of amusement. The golden horned beast snorted, seemingly expressing some dissatisfaction. All right, speed up. The golden horned beast flapped its wings, and its speed suddenly soared. The mountains and rivers below turned into blurred patches of color, receding rapidly. Along the way, no blind monster lord or king beast dared to approach. The pressure originating from the depths of its bloodline was the best pass. Chapter 69, You Think Only You Have a Trump Card. North Pole Realm Circle. When the golden horned beast landed on the ice field, Yan Ning immediately took it into his inner world. The wilderness was vast and boundless. The blizzard howled, and the world between heaven and earth was a shade of gray and white. Visibility was less than 100 meters. But for a planetary-level spirit reader, vision was never a problem. Yan Ning's psychic power spread out like a tide, detecting the schools of fish under the ice, the beast dens in the snow, the wandering herds in the distance, and those lord-level monsters lurking in the shadows. The density is not low. Yan Ning frowned slightly. The North Pole realm was a bitterly cold place, lacking in food. By all logic, the density of monsters here should be far lower than in the tropical and subtropical regions of the south. But as his psychic power swept across, the number of lord-level monsters was surprisingly not inferior to resource-rich areas like Shanghai or North Chin. It is indeed a bit abnormal. Yan Ning did not delve deeper. Regardless of the reason, once he dealt with that white king beast, everything would naturally have an answer. He strode forward, walking deep into the North Pole realm circle. The vines of the cloud-caressing vine spread out from his collar, clinging to his body, ready for battle at any moment. The battle saber was unsheathed. The blade's gleam flashed through the blizzard. A lord-level monster hidden under the ice didn't even have time to scream before it was severed in two by a single blade strike. A line of blood began to spread across the snow. Yan Ning walked leisurely. One blade, one kill, without exception. Those monsters attracted by the smell of blood, driven by territorial instincts, or simply wanting to attack any intruder, rushed forward one after another. And then, they fell one after another. In just a few hours. Nearly 30% of the lord-level monsters in the outer perimeter of the North Pole Realm Circle had been slaughtered. The core of the North Pole Realm Circle. The white giant beast suddenly woke from its slumber. Its body size had grown another circle since half a year ago, with a body length exceeding 120 meters, and the electric arcs on its 7 horns were deeper in color and denser. Planetary level 6th rank peak. It was only one step away from the 7th rank. But at this moment, there was no joy of a breakthrough in its heart, only rage. Monstrous rage. It could sense that within its territory, the presence of its subjects was disappearing at a terrifying speed. 1, 2, 3. Dozens of lord-level monsters died. Hundreds of beast general-level monsters died. Tens of thousands of beast soldiers and pawns. Humans. The roar of the white giant beast shattered the ice, and the snow within a radius of several kilometers was lifted by the sound wave, forming a white shockwave. Had those humans mobilized the strength of their entire race to attack? Fury burned in its chest. Just right. It had almost finished digesting. It raised its head, and the electric arcs on its 7 horns lit up simultaneously, illuminating the entire sky in a riot of colors. Starting from today, the reckoning begins. It strode forward, walking in the direction where the presence was disappearing. With every step, the earth trembled. With every step, the wind and snow retreated. It wanted to let this planet know who the true king was. On the ice field, a black figure walked out of the heavy snow. Only one blade. Ning had already sensed the presence of the white giant beast, planetary level 6th rank peak, even higher than Qin Mufeng had estimated. But he did not slow down. The golden horned beast was on standby in the inner world, ready to strike at any time. Ning wanted to try first. To test the limits of his own original body. To test how much power the third form of the 9 ink fall blades could unleash. In front of a true, formidable enemy. A drone rose from his shoulder, hovering in midair, its red indicator light flickering in the blizzard. Let's begin. Ning stopped and looked up ahead. In the wind and snow, a behemoth was walking toward him. Over 120 meters in length, its silver-white scales glinted coldly in the snow light, and electric arcs of different colors coiled around its 7 horns. Icy blue vertical pupils were staring fixedly at him. Human. The white giant beast spoke, its voice deep as thunder, you deserve to die. Its rage had accumulated to the extreme. A mere planetary level 2nd rank martial artist dared to break into its territory alone and slaughter its subjects. This was an insult. This was a provocation. This was courting death. The white giant beast did not give the opponent any chance to react. Its 7 horns lit up simultaneously, and 7 electric arcs of different colors converged into a destructive beam of light, shooting toward Ning with a boom. Ning dodged and moved, choosing to meet it head-on. 9 ink fall blades, first form, breaking flow. The blades' gleam cut through the wind and snow, precisely striking the weak point of the beam. The beam was cut in the middle, turning into 2 torrents of energy that swept past Ning's sides, exploding into 2 massive craters hundreds of meters wide on the ice field behind him. The white giant beast's pupils constricted slightly. This human actually has some tricks. But it's not enough. Far from enough. It opened its mouth, and a white cold current surged out from its throat. Wherever it passed, the air was frozen, forming a path of ice. Ning did not retreat but advanced instead. 9 ink fall blades, 2nd form, breaking army. The blades' gleam condensed without dispersing, like an invisible long spear, piercing through the cold current and heading straight for the white giant beast's head. The white giant beast tilted its head to avoid it, but the blade's gleam still grazed its shoulder, shattering a large patch of silver-white scales and causing blood to spray. Feeling the pain, it roared, kicked the ground with its 4 hooves, and its massive body rushed toward Ning at a speed that did not match its size. Ning took a deep breath. He held his battle saber horizontally in front of him. 9 ink fall blades, 3rd form, annihilation. There was no light or shadow. Only an invisible line extended from the tip of the blade, slicing across the white giant beast's body. The white giant beast's momentum in its charge suddenly stalled. On its chest, a wound as thin as a hair appeared. The wound was not deep, but it felt a fear it had never experienced before. That blade strike was not cutting its body, but erasing its existence. If not for its thick scales and robust body, this blade strike would have been enough to split it in 2. The white giant beast staggered backward, its aura suddenly withering. 3 strikes. Only 3 strikes. A planetary level 2nd rank human had head-on repelled it, a planetary level 7th rank peak existence. Fear appeared in the white giant beast's vertical pupils for the first time. But the next second, the fear turned into madness. It roared to the sky, and the electric arcs on its 7 horns exploded simultaneously, turning into 7 beams of light that shot into the sky. The world changed color. The blizzard stopped abruptly. A terrifying aura rose from the white giant beast, its wound healed at a speed visible to the naked eye, and the silver-white light on its scales became even more blinding. Innate secret technique, Fury. Its aura climbed all the way from planetary level 6th rank peak to planetary level 8th rank. Human, you have enraged me. The white giant beast's voice became hoarse and twisted. I will tear you to pieces 10,000 times. Ning watched the white giant beast, whose aura was skyrocketing, and felt secretly relieved. In his heart, fortunately, he had not headed north immediately after the Battle of Shanghai. Instead, he had spent a month letting the golden horned beast devour the mystic cold iron mine and the Iron Mother, and mastering the third form of the 9 ink fall blades. Otherwise, with this king beast's innate secret technique, even a planetary level 8th rank ordinary warrior would have suffered a huge loss. No, to be precise, solely based on the strength of the white king beast itself, excluding Ning, no one in the entire Azure could match it. However, Ning's lips curled up slightly. You think only you have a trump card. Chapter 70, King Falls at North Pole, Underground Ruins. The pupils of the white giant beast constricted violently. In its perception, a breath that made its soul tremble suddenly appeared behind that weak human. It was not power. It was suppression. A suppression originating from the depths of the bloodline, irresistible and absolute. It was the chasm engraved in the genes between the predator and the prey. In the blind spot of the aerial camera, a dark golden figure stepped out from Ning's shadow. Its size was not large, just over 2 meters. Its entire body was covered in pitch-black scales, and a spiral golden horn grew on its forehead. Golden vertical pupils stared coldly at the white giant beast. Golden horned beast. Planetary level 8th rank. Peak universe bloodline. The body of the white giant beast froze. It wanted to run, but its legs were trembling, and its soul was screaming. Every cell in its body was telling it, run. Run quickly. That is an existence you can never defeat. But it could not run. The golden horned beast did not even make a move. It just stood there, releasing the pressure of its bloodline. The white giant beast was like it had been nailed to the spot, unable to move. Ning did not waste this opportunity. The battle blade rose again. The third move of the 9 ink fall blades, world extinction. At the same time, the 196 blades of the arc blade disc turned into a silver torrent, drilling into the mouth, nose, eyes, ears, and wounds of the white giant beast. Attacking from both sides. Full firepower. The blade light slashed across the neck of the white giant beast. The silver fish twisted and killed inside its cranium. The body of the white giant beast twitched violently, emitting a short, unwilling roar. Then, it collapsed with a boom. The 120-meter-long behemoth smashed onto the ice field, kicking up clouds of snow. Blood poured from its 7 orifices, staining the surrounding ice and snow a deep red. The planetary level 8th rank. King Beast, the most terrifying existence on Azure Star, did not even last a single round. The suppression from the golden horned beast's bloodline made its talent, strength, and combat instinct all become a joke. Ning sheathed his blade. The aerial camera descended slowly, its red indicator light still flashing. The major threat has finally been resolved. Ning retrieved the aerial camera and put it into the system space. This footage was enough to put the people of Azure at ease. Ning glanced at the golden horned beast clone, which was napping on the ice field. This guy had no interest in the corpse of the white giant beast. After devouring the mystic frozen Iron Mother, the flesh and blood of ordinary king beasts were tasteless to it. Mo Yun, it's up to you. The cloud-caressing vine sprang from Ning's collar, its vines growing wildly, pouncing on the corpse of the white giant beast. The life essence of a planetary level 9th rank king beast was a priceless treasure to the cloud-caressing vine. The golden patterns on the vines lit up, and its aura began to climb rapidly. Planetary level 5th rank peak, 6th rank. When the corpse of the white giant beast was sucked into a shriveled empty shell, the cloud-caressing vine had already stood firmly at the planetary level 6th rank. Not bad. Ning patted the vines of the cloud-caressing vine. I didn't raise you in vain. The cloud-caressing vine sent a satisfied thought, Master. It was so delicious. Is there any more? No more. But there might be other things underground. Ning's gaze fell to his feet. The abnormal evolution of the white giant beast, the abnormal monster density within the North Pole realm circle, the Muya crystal, the mystic cold iron mineral vein. The source of all this should be right below here. It's time to investigate properly. Underground. 20 kilometers. Yan Ning's original body went all the way down. The black god suit insulated against the underground temperature, and the vines of the cloud-caressing vine clung tightly to his body, providing him with extra protection. The further down, the greater the pressure. The further down, the lower the temperature. Deep underground, it was actually colder than the surface, which in itself was abnormal. There is something. Yan Ning's psychic power swept across the rock layer in front, perceiving an abnormal hollow area. He accelerated. The battle blade opened the way, and the silver fish cleared the rubble. Finally, when the last layer of rock was broken open, a building appeared in front of Yan Ning. More accurately, it was a scale. A huge, cyan, scale-like fragment. It was inserted obliquely into the rock layer, with the part exposed to the ground being no more than 10 meters square, but Yan Ning could perceive that it extended downward for at least several thousand meters. The surface was smooth as a mirror, without any traces of splicing. The material was unknown, but to be able to withstand such immense pressure at 20 kilometers underground without any damage, it was at least a materials of astral rank or above. What is this? Yan Ning walked around the scale, finding no entrance, gap, or energy fluctuation. It was like an ordinary stone, staying here quietly, not knowing how many tens of thousands of years had passed. Golden Horned Beast. Yan Ning did not hesitate and released the Golden Horned Beast directly from his internal world. If even the Golden Horned Beast could not bite into this thing, then he would really have no way. The moment the Golden Horned Beast landed, Yan Ning's consciousness sank violently. Illusion. Endless darkness. In the darkness, a voice sounded, old, tired, and with a trace of imperceptible joy. Finally, someone has come. Yan Ning's consciousness quickly searched through the legacy memories of the Golden Horned Beast, and soon found the corresponding information. Universe rank flesh and blood life form. Phantom heart race. Skilled in soul attacks and illusions, living by devouring the consciousness of other life forms. The voice in front of him was an consciousness fragment left behind after the death of this universe rank phantom heart race. It had not completely died. Or rather, it was waiting for an opportunity to borrow a corpse to resurrect. The white giant beast was the host it had chosen. Those Muya crystals were also scattered by it on purpose, the purpose being to accelerate the growth of the white giant beast so that it could perform possession at the right time. But it did not expect that the white giant beast would be killed by Yan Ning. It even less expected that what came was not an ordinary king beast, but a golden horned beast. Peak universe bloodline. Its consciousness fragment could not shake the soul core of the golden horned beast at all. Young man. The voice of the phantom heart race sounded in Yan Ning's consciousness, with a trace of obvious ingratiation. Let's make a deal. What deal? Let me out. I have a deposit in my universe bank account. It's not much, but it's enough for you to live a good life in the universe. I can give you the account number and password. Yan Ning was silent for a moment. How much? 3 million universe coins. 1,000 black dragon coins equals 1 Ganwu coin. 3,300 Ganwu coins equals 1 universe coin. 3 million universe coins, about 10 billion Ganwu coins, 100 billion black dragon coins. Yan Ning's breathing became a bit rapid. For a planetary-level novice, this was undoubtedly an astronomical figure. Give me the account number and password first. You agree to let me out first. You have no room to bargain. Yan Ning's voice was calm. Give it, or die. The phantom heart race was silent. Then, a string of numbers appeared in Yan Ning's consciousness. Universe bank, account number, password. Can you let me out now? Yes. Yan Ning's consciousness exited the illusion and looked at the golden horned beast. A cold light flashed in the golden vertical pupils of the golden horned beast. In the legacy memories, there was a processing method, specifically for the phantom heart race. The soul core of the golden horned beast shook violently, and an invisible soul shockwave spread out from its consciousness. The consciousness fragment of the phantom heart race let out a shrill scream. Then, everything returned to calm. In Yan Ning's consciousness, that old voice disappeared completely, turning into nothingness. Let you go. What a joke. A dying person really can give up everything just to grasp at a void straw. Yan Ning looked at the huge cyan scale in front of him, thoughtful. The corpse fragment of a universe rank phantom heart race, 3 million universe coins. The secret of the North Pole realm circle is bigger than imagined. Time to go back. Yan Ning put the golden horned beast back into his internal world and climbed toward the surface along the path he had come. The surface. The blizzard did not know when it had stopped. Sunlight pierced through the clouds and sprinkled on the ice field, reflecting a dazzling silver white. Chapter 71, The Seventh Inspector, the beginning of a new era. Yan Ning returned. 7 days had passed in total. From heading north with his blade to returning in triumph. In 7 days, the greatest threat to Azure was completely wiped out by him alone with a single blade. The moment he landed in Nanjong Base City, Yan Ning dialed Qin Mufeng's communication device. Old Qin, you're back. How is it? Are you injured? What's the situation with that king beast? Qin Mufeng's voice was urgent, a barrage of questions hitting him. The Great Scourge has been eliminated, Yan Ning said, his words brief. Silence followed on the other end of the line. Within the North Pole realm circle, all high-threat monsters of Lord class and above have been cleared. As for the remaining heavily injured or crippled elementary Lord class monsters, I left some for the purpose of raising GU. You can send people to investigate later, but I suggest waiting at least a month to let those remnants exhaust each other first. Are you sure? Qin Mufeng's voice trembled slightly. I'm sure. What about the white giant beast? Dead. Yan Ning paused. I couldn't bring the carcass back, it was too large. But I brought one of its horns to show you later. Silence returned to the other end. This time, it lasted for a long while. Then, Qin Mufeng let out a long breath, as if exhaling all the tension that had been weighing on his heart for over half a year. Good, good, good. I'll arrange a commendation ceremony immediately. You need to come to the front and say a few words to the public. With the greatest threat to Azure gone, all of humanity owes you a thank you. No need, Yan Ning said. I'll rest for a while. Then when will you? We'll talk later, Yan Ning interrupted him. Also, Old Qin, help me compile a list of any rare metal mineral veins on Azure. I'll send you a specific list of what I need shortly. Rare metal mineral veins. What do you need those for? Updates are not easy. Remember to share 101kanshu.com. They're useful. The larger the better, and the richer the reserves, the better. Though confused, Qin Mufeng still agreed. All right. Give me the list, and I'll have the Federal Geological Bureau look into it. Thanks. Yan Ning hung up. War God Palace. Qin Mufeng put down his communication watch and leaned back in his chair, staring up at the ceiling. The office was very quiet. Only the old photograph on the wall, a picture of Hongwang in his youth, looked at him silently. Old Hong. Qin Mufeng muttered to himself, this person you found is stronger than you. He closed his eyes, his mind filled with those 4 words Yan Ning had spoken. The Great Scourge has been eliminated. Those 4 words carried immense weight. Half a year ago, he and Hongwang had teamed up, only to be beaten by that white giant beast until they had broken limbs and were forced to retreat in disgrace. Half a year later, Yan Ning had resolved it alone in 7 days. What kind of concept was that? It meant that Yan Ning's strength had already far exceeded the scope of his and Hongwang's understanding. The new generation excels the old, Qin Mufeng gave a bitter laugh. We old waves should retire. He sat up straight and began dialing communications one by one. Inspector Liu, Zhao Zhengguo, Lin Beiyu. The news spread one by one. Every person who received the news reacted with silence first. Then came disbelief. Then came wild joy. And then, a complex emotion that was hard to put into words. The shadow that had weighed on everyone's hearts and forced Azure to retreat to 66 degrees north latitude was gone. Just like that, it was gone. War God Palace, Council Chamber. The holographic projections of the 6 inspectors sat in a circle, the atmosphere completely different from a month ago. Back then, it was heavy, oppressive, and filled with the anxiety of seeing no hope. Now, it was relaxed, relieved, and filled with the gratitude of surviving a disaster. 7 days. Inspector Liu held up a finger. From leaving to returning, 7 days. He alone solved a problem that our entire Azure couldn't solve for decades. It wasn't just the white giant beast. Inspector Liu added, he cleared all high-threat Lord-class monsters within the North Pole realm circle. Those remaining cripples don't pose a threat. He even said we can go investigate in 3 months. Another inspector shook his head and smiled. He even considered the cleanup work for us. This young man's way of doing things really leaves nothing to be desired. So, Inspector Liu looked at Qin Mufeng. Old Qin, how do you plan to arrange this? Qin Mufeng had already thought it through. First, issue an announcement to all of Azure informing them that the threat in the North Pole realm circle has been lifted. This cannot be hidden, nor does it need to be. Second, grant Yan Ning the title of Azure Hero. This title hasn't been awarded since Honglong. Third, Qin Mufeng paused. Promote Yan Ning to be the 7th Inspector of Azure. The council chamber fell silent for a moment. Inspector. The highest combat power sequence of Azure, second only to Honglong. The 6 great inspectors were all veteran planetary-level powerhouses who had fought their way out of mountains of corpses and seas of blood, each having performed immense services for Azure. Yan Ning had only achieved a breakthrough to the planetary level for a little over half a year, and he was already becoming an inspector. But no one objected, because everyone knew that Yan Ning was worthy of this position. It wasn't just worthy. It was no one else but him. Agreed. Inspector Liu was the first to raise his hand. Agreed. Inspector Liu was the second. Agreed. 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 Passed unanimously. The news reached the various base cities a step slower than the War God Palace, but not by much. Shanghai Base City. Zhao Zhengguo stood before the large screen in the command center, staring at the message, North Pole realm threat lifted, for a long time. Then, he turned to face everyone in the command center. From this day forward, the coastal defense pressure on Shanghai will be reduced by at least 70%. Rarely, not a single person cheered. But everyone's eyes were red. The veterans who had guarded the coastal defense lines for 10 or 20 years, the soldiers who had personally watched their comrades be dragged into the deep sea by marine monsters while being powerless to help, the martial artists who had to put their lives on the line every time a beast tide struck. They could finally have a peaceful night's sleep. North Qin Base City. Lin Beiyu's reaction was more direct. He read the message Yan Ning sent him 3 times, then dialed the North Qin Aviation Corps. All reconnaissance aircraft, take off. Scour the northern mountains for me. I want to confirm one thing. Whether those avian king beasts hiding in the deep mountains are truly all dead. 3 hours later, the reconnaissance aircraft returned their report. On the outskirts of North Qin, all known king-level monster nests were empty. Some nests showed signs of battle and blood, but no carcasses. But regardless of the situation, the auras of those king beasts had completely vanished. Lin Beiyu put down the report and walked to the window. Outside the window were the myriad lights of North Qin Base City. Those lights had been extinguished by beast tides countless times over the past decades. But from today on, it probably won't happen again, Lin Beiyu muttered to himself. Chapter 72, A Century-Long Plan, Lights of 10,000 Homes. The War God Palace announcement was released. The wording was solemn. Open black lens bracket War God Palace announcement close black lens bracket. By decision of the Azure Supreme Joint Meeting, the following is hereby notified to all of Azure. 1. The core threat of the North Pole Realm Circle, the king-level monster codenamed White Emperor, was killed 7 days ago by Azure Counselor Yan Ning. Upon verification, all king beasts that are above the planetary level within the North Pole Realm Circle have been cleared, and the regional beast swarm threat level has been downgraded to controllable. 2. To commend Comrade Yan Ning for his outstanding contributions to Azure humanity, he is awarded the title of Azure Hero. Since the establishment of this title in the Cataclysm era, it has only been awarded to 3 people. Comrade Yan Ning is the 4th, and the first since Hong Long. 3. By unanimous vote of the 6 inspectors, Comrade Yan Ning is promoted to the 7th Inspector of Azure, effective immediately. 4. The peripheral areas of the North Pole Realm Circle will be opened for exploration in 3 months, to be organized by the War God Palace. Until then, any individual or group is strictly prohibited from entering without authorization. Azure Year 54, War God Palace. The moment the announcement was released, the entire Azure internet fell into an unprecedented boil. It wasn't the carnival after that strike in Shanghai, nor the shock after the North Chin psychic power display. It was a release from the depths of the soul, like surviving a catastrophe. Open black lens bracket Azure Daily close black lens bracket reposted with the caption. 7 days ago, he said, wait for me to return. 7 days later, he is back, bringing the head of that beast. Open black lens bracket Azure China News Agency close black lens bracket reposted with the caption. Azure Hero, 7th Inspector. These titles are important, yet they are not. What is important is that from today on, the people of Azure no longer have to wake up in terror at night, no longer have to pray every time a beast tide approaches, and no longer have to worry about whether tomorrow or an accident will come first. Open black lens bracket Azure CCTV News close black lens bracket reposted with the caption, he did it, we survived. In the comments section, tears and laughter intertwined. White Emperor. So that white giant beast was called the White Emperor. Emperor. Does it even deserve that? Counselor Yan is the true Emperor. Azure Hero. The 4th Azure Hero. If my grandfather were alive to see this scene today, he would be so happy. Open black lens bracket at this point, I hope readers remember our domain 101kanshu.com. Super great, 101kks.com library is vast close black lens bracket. 7th Inspector. From today on, Azure has 7 mountains. Not 7 mountains, but 1. The previous 6 added together are not as tall as the 7th. I'm crying, I'm really crying. It's not being dramatic, it's, do you know that feeling? It's like that stone that's been weighing on your heart for decades is suddenly gone. My grandfather was an old war god who died in the North Pole realm 2 years ago. Before he died, he said he wasn't afraid of death, just afraid that after he died, his descendants would still have to live like this. Grandpa, did you see? We don't have to anymore, that man has arrived. A message from a Shanghai resident. From today on, I can finally feel safe letting my children play by the seaside. A message from a North Chin resident. From today on, I don't have to look up at the sky every day. A message from a Nanjong resident. From today on, wait, Nanjong has always had Counselor Yan watching over it, we've been at peace for a long time. Ha 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 ha, I'm going to spam the hashtag thank you Counselor Yan 100 times. The hashtag, thank you Counselor Yan, hit the top of the trending list within half an hour, with popularity exceeding 1 billion. It wasn't an exaggeration. It was 1 billion. The entire population of Azure was only a few billion. This meant that almost every single person was saying the same thing. Thank you, Counselor Yan. Nanjong Base City. Yan Ning sat on the balcony, holding Yan Shu in his arms while scrolling through his phone. Trending number 1, hashtag thank you Counselor Yan. Trending number 2, hashtag Azure Hero. Trending number 3, hashtag 7th Inspector. He read through them one by one. Someone was showing off a photo of their child, saying, today I finally dare to name my child Ping'an. Someone was sharing a video of the sunrise by the sea, saying, the sunrise in Shanghai is actually so beautiful, I never noticed it before. Someone was showing off the vegetables they grew, saying, I won't have to store food in the cellar anymore. Post after post, they were all real people, all living ordinary, simple days. Yan Ning put down his phone and looked down at his young son in his arms. Yan Shu was looking at him with wide eyes, babbling something unintelligible. Your dad seems to have done something quite remarkable. Yan Shu let out a yawn and continued gnawing on his fist. Yan Ning smiled and looked off into the distance. On the horizon, the evening clouds were a brilliant red. Tomorrow, the sun would rise again. The day after tomorrow, too. Every day from now on. 1 month later, Nanjong Base City. Yan Ning was in the training room guiding the cloud-caressing vine in practicing new combat stances. The cloud-caressing vine was now firmly at the 6th rank of the planetary level. The golden patterns on its vines were becoming more dense, and its aura was significantly stronger than it had been a month ago. His communication watch vibrated. A call from Qin Mufeng. Ning, that list of rare metals you gave me, the Federal Geological Bureau has checked it. What are the results? Aside from some found in the SO1 ruins, there are almost none on Azure. Qin Mufeng's voice carried a hint of apology. Most of those metals are not natural minerals of the Azure Star. The experts at the Geological Bureau say the metals on the list are only found in the universe. Ning nodded, not feeling too disappointed. He had actually expected this. If there really were that many rare metals on the Azure Star, the golden horned beast wouldn't have gone hungry for a month. However, Qin Mufeng's tone shifted. The Geological Bureau found some traces on the outskirts of the SO1 ruins that might be related to the metals on your list. Do you want to go see for yourself? Not for now, Ning said. As for the SO1 ruins, let's wait until Hong Huang comes out. That works. Qin Mufeng paused. By the way, the Supreme Joint Meeting is being held next week. Are you coming? What's the agenda? Many things. Qin Mufeng said, now that the North Pole realm threat is resolved, many things we didn't dare to think about before can now be put on the agenda. You were the greatest contributor, it would be best if you could attend. Ning thought about it. All right. Azure Supreme Joint Meeting. Holographic projections brought together the chairman from 25 base cities, the 6 inspectors, and core members of the War God Palace. Ning sat next to Qin Mufeng, in the seat for the 7th inspector. This was his first time attending a meeting in his capacity as an inspector. Everyone. Qin Mufeng opened the meeting. There is only one agenda item today, the future of Azure. A massive star map was projected onto the holographic screen. The Azure Star and its surrounding planets. Now that the North Pole realm threat is lifted, what we face is no longer survival, but development. From the Cataclysm era until now, it has taken Azure humanity 54 years to stand up from the ruins. Now, it is time to step out. First, the transition to an interstellar civilization. Qin Mufeng pulled up a planning document. The focus of Azure's technology will shift from defense to exploration. The spaceship unearthed from the SO1 ruins has been preliminarily assessed to have interstellar travel capabilities. The focus of our work moving forward is to crack the ship's technology and, within 100 years, complete the transformation and colonization of the Azure Star system. Chapter 73, Not Too Many, I Can't Keep Up. 100 years, someone questioned. Isn't that a bit too optimistic? It's not optimistic. Qin Mufeng shook his head. The technical data unearthed from the SO1 ruins far exceeds our imagination. If we commit our full efforts, achieving intra-system navigation within 50 years will not be a problem. Detailed planning points appeared one by one on the holographic screen. Phase 1, 10 years. Crack basic spacecraft technology, establish low Earth orbit factories, and begin small-scale space resource mining. Phase 2, 30 years. Complete the transformation of the Moon into a base, establish permanent settlements, and begin unmanned exploration of neighboring planets. Phase 3, 50 years, achieve manned interstellar flight, establish outposts on the periphery of Earth and Mars, and begin the layout of an intra-system resource network. Phase 4, 100 years, complete the transformation and migration of major planets in the Azure Star system. Azure humanity officially becomes an interstellar civilization. This is a century-long plan. A grand strategy for 100 years. In the council hall, voices of discussion rose from all sides. Some were excited, some were worried, some felt it was too aggressive, and some felt it wasn't fast enough. But no one opposed it. Because everyone knew that after the threat of the North Pole realm was removed, Azure truly needed a new direction. Second, population. Qin Mufeng's tone became serious. An interstellar civilization needs people, not tens of millions, not hundreds of millions, but billions or tens of billions. Azure's current population is far from enough. Population data was clear at a glance on the holographic screen. Total Azure population, approximately 4 billion. Fertile population of age, approximately 1.5 billion. Annual birth rate, less than 1%. These figures were acceptable during the Cataclysm era. But in the interstellar era, it is far from enough. We need to double the population within 50 years, and quadruple it within 100. How do we multiply it? Someone asked. 2 directions. First, universal birth subsidies. Give money, houses, and resources for having children. The more you have, the more you get. Second, genetic optimization. The genes of martial artists are far stronger than those of ordinary people, and the probability of a martial artist's descendants becoming powerhouses is much higher. Therefore, we need martial artists, especially top-tier ones, to take on more reproductive responsibility. Everyone's eyes turned in unison toward Yan Ning. The world's current strongest person was sitting right there. Yan Ning held his teacup, expressionless. Inspector Yan. Qin Mufeng cleared his throat. You are Azur's strongest combatant, and your genes are Azur's most precious treasure. Therefore, we hope you can take the lead, and have a few more children. A ripple of low laughter rang out in the council hall. Yan Ning set down his teacup. No problem. Crisp and straightforward. There was no hesitation, no bashfulness, and no hint of, I need to think about it. The council hall fell silent for a moment. Everyone was stunned. To be honest, they really hadn't expected Yan Ning to be so agreeable. Before coming, Qin Mufeng had specifically consulted with several old colleagues about how to use Azur's greater good to persuade him if Yan Ning was unwilling, letting them play the bad guys. High-level martial artists, especially top-tier ones, were generally unwilling to waste too much time on procreation. Matters of pleasure. Once you've experienced them enough, they're just so-so. Instead, daily tilling and taking care of family would delay one's own cultivation. Or rather, even if one became a planetary-level martial artist, their energy was still limited. So they had prepared to be the bad guys. They had even prepared several arguments, such as, for the future of Azur, your genes are too precious, and every additional descendant gives Azur another spark of hope. In the end, not a single word was needed. You agreed? Qin Mufeng asked, somewhat uncertainly. Otherwise, should I refuse? Yan Ning nodded. It's for Azur, after all. He spoke those words with righteous conviction. But what the others didn't know was that for Yan Ning, having children was entirely beneficial with zero drawbacks. The many children many blessings system, the more descendants and the stronger the bloodline, the more generous the rewards. How did the golden horned beast come about? It was given for a planetary-level descendant. How did the cloud-caressing vine come about? It was given for an apprentice-level descendant. The next milestone required more descendants and stronger bloodlines. So, procreate. Just keep having them. Inspector Yan is truly noble-minded. Inspector Liu was the first to react, giving a thumbs up. For the sake of Azur, having a few more children is nothing to be ashamed of. Right. Inspector Liu hurried to chime in. We will go talk to Shuyu. Her position as the first wife is rock solid. As for the other wives, we will handle the work of reassuring them. No need. Yan Ning waved his hand. I can handle family matters myself. You just, focus on recommending candidates. Laughter filled the council hall. Qin Mufeng looked at Yan Ning with a complicated expression. He felt something was off. Did this grandson-in-law of his agree a bit too readily? But then he reconsidered. Maybe it really was for Azur. Maybe he truly felt a responsibility to pass on his excellent genes. Or maybe, he just liked children. Fine. Qin Mufeng slapped the table. Then it's settled. From this day forward, Comrade Yan Ning's genetic legacy project is designated as Azur's highest priority matter. Wait. Yan Ning raised his hand. I have one condition. Speak. I pick the candidates myself. No problem. One more. Speak. Not too many, I can't keep up. The council hall erupted in laughter. How should one put it? Yan Ning had also considered the matter of taking wives for a long time. It wasn't about being pretentious. He really couldn't keep up. After the Azur Supreme Joint Meeting, the Genetic Legacy Project was listed as the highest priority. Qin Mufeng personally led the effort to screen of age, unmarried female martial artists with excellent genetic potential across all of Azur. When the list was delivered to Yan Ning, it was a thick stack containing over 200 people. Take your time picking. Qin Mufeng smiled like an old fox at the time. He really wanted to see how Yan Ning would settle things with that girl Qin Shuyu. No rush. Yan Ning went through the list. One could say the criteria were very strict, looking not only at genetic potential but also personality, background, personal will, and physical appearance. He didn't want trouble. Ultimately, he circled 7 people. However, after communicating with them one by one, 4 of them politely declined. Their reasons varied. Some said they wanted to focus on the martial Tao and didn't want to be tied down by marriage for the time being, but they were willing to hang out with Yan Ning and be friends. Some said they already had someone in their heart. Yan Ning didn't have a habit of cuckolding others, so he naturally respected this. Some said they didn't want to be a concubine, stating they hadn't yet adapted to Azur's marital shift, even if the other party was Yan Ning. Some said nothing at all, simply shaking their heads. Yan Ning did not force them. In such matters, forced fruit is never sweet, and besides, it wouldn't pass censorship. Thus, in the end, there were only 3 who were willing to marry him. Chapter 74, Yan God Race Bloodline Body. Lin Shui, Junior War General, Genetic Potential Apprentice Level 9, native of North Chin Base City, 26 years old. Fang Qing, Intermediate General, Genetic Potential Apprentice Level 8, native of Shanghai Base City, 24 years old. Zhou Ruo, Intermediate General, Genetic Potential Apprentice Level 8, native of Nanjing Base City, 23 years old. 3 women. Adding Shen Yao, Zhao Zixuan, Su Wanqing, and Qin Shuyu, there were 7 in total. 7, Yan Ning calculated. 1 for each day of the week, with Sunday off. He thought about it and felt this schedule was very reasonable. Any more, and it would truly affect his cultivation. I'll think about it again after entering the universe. Yan Ning calculated in his heart, once I step into the universe and get that 3 million universe coins from the Wanxin clan, there will be plenty of possibilities. At that time, marrying a few with even higher genetic potential will yield twice the results with half the effort. The days passed like this. The 7 women got along much more harmoniously than Yan Ning had expected. Shen Yao was the oldest and had the softest personality. She took it upon herself to play the role of the big sister, coordinating between everyone. Zhao Zixuan was carefree and didn't mind these things, happily holding Yan Yang every day. Su Wanqing didn't talk much but was meticulous in her work, keeping all the household affairs in perfect order. Qin Shuyu was the calmest, neither competing nor grabbing for attention. Lin Shui, Fang Qing, and Zhou Ruo, the 3 newcomers, were a bit reserved at first but quickly integrated into this large family. They discovered that this legendary, Azure hero, and a 7th inspector, was just an ordinary husband at home, who would snatch snacks from the kids, be collectively roasted by his wives, and fall asleep on the sofa while watching TV. So he's actually this kind of person, Lin Shui whispered to Fang Qing once. What else did you think? Fang Qing laughed. Did you think he kept a straight face all day? I thought he was very fierce. Fierce? Zhou Ruo chimed in from the side. You haven't seen him when he's actually fierce. Go watch the video of that strike in Shanghai. I've seen it, but that was fighting monsters. Exactly, he's only fierce when he's fighting monsters. The 3 women looked at each other and shared a mischievous smirk. I see you 3 are looking for an injection. How could Yan Ning endure such mockery? He gave the 3 women a thorough check-up. 9 months later, Nanjing Base City, Counselor Hospital. Shen Yao, Zhao Zixuan, Su Wanqing, and Qin Shuyu were all giving birth at the same time. The entire hospital was on high alert, with all the best obstetricians on duty. It wasn't making a mountain out of a molehill. It was simply that the genetic potential of these 4 children was a bit too high. Finally, the 4 women finished giving birth. Shen Yao gave birth to a girl, named Yanan. Apprentice Level 9. Shen Yao's genetic potential was Apprentice Level 7. With Yan Ning's genes continuously improving, the upper limit for his descendants was being pushed higher. The second one, Zhao Zixuan, also gave birth to a girl, named Yan Jing. The third one, Su Wanqing, gave birth to a boy, named Yan Yuan. Open black lens bracket. Congratulations host, detected descendants genetic potential, Psyker Master Apprentice Level 9. Obtained lottery draw X1 close black lens bracket. The fourth one, Qin Shuyu, gave birth to a boy, named Yan Shen. Open black lens bracket congratulations host, detected descendants genetic potential, planetary level 1. Obtained lottery draw X1 close black lens bracket. Yan Ning's hand trembled. Planetary level 1, another planetary level descendant. After Yan Shu, this was the second one. What did this mean? It meant that Yan Ning's genes, after continuous improvement, had become strong enough for his descendants to possess planetary level potential at birth. 2 lottery draws, not bad at all. 3 months later, Lin Shui, Fang Qing, and Zhou Ruo gave birth one after another. Lin Shui and Zhou Ruo each gave birth to a boy. Fang Qing gave birth to a girl. None granted lottery draws. Yan Ning wasn't surprised, even though there weren't any, he was still very happy. The 3 children were healthy, and the 3 mothers were safe. That was enough. Naming them. Lin Shui's son was named Yan Yao. Fang Qing's daughter was named Yan Nuan. Zhou Ruo's son was named Yan Lang. 11 children. 11. Yan Ning looked at the room full of cribs and suddenly felt his house was a bit small. Time to move to a bigger house. Late at night, Yan Ning sat alone on the balcony, his consciousness sinking into the system space. 11 descendants. The milestone counter jumped from 2 to 3. Open black lens bracket congratulations host, the mission, branching out, has been over-completed, 11/10 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket reward for, branching out, mission, lottery draw X10 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket congratulations host, unlocked a new milestone, reached 10 plus descendants close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket milestone, 3 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket family expansion mission loading. Bind current family members Shen Yao, Zhao Zixuan, Su Wanqing, Qin Shuyu, Lin Shui, Feng Qing, Zhou Ruo, Yan Shi, Yan Yong, Yan Qing, Yan Shu, Yanan, Yan Jing, Yan Yuan, Yan Shen, Yan Yao, Yan Nuan, Yan Lang, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket note. After binding, milestone unlocking conditions will be based on bound family members. Non-Azure ethnicity cannot unlock monument rewards close black lens bracket. Bind. They were all his flesh and blood. Yan Ning didn't hesitate for a second. Open black lens bracket binding successful close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. The host can randomly select from 4 categories: items, techniques, equipment, and others. There is a probability of a critical hit effect close black lens bracket. Yan Ning looked at the system panel and took a deep breath. Counting the previous ones, he had a total of 12 lottery draws. Finally, I can do a 10 pull. But Yan Ning wasn't in a hurry. He first looked at the random selection for the newly opened family expansion mission. This reward seemed very generous. Which one to choose? Open black lens bracket items close black lens bracket open black lens bracket techniques close black lens bracket open black lens bracket equipment close black lens bracket open black lens bracket others close black lens bracket. Let's go with others. Yan Ning made his decision. The others option had the most unpredictable rewards, but it was also the most likely to yield something good. The pointer spun. It stopped on open black lens bracket others close black lens bracket. Golden light exploded within the system space, and a line of text floated before Yan Ning's eyes. Open black lens bracket Yan God race bloodline human body blood core close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket description close black lens bracket. Yan God race, one of the peak races in the universe. Adults naturally reach the peak of World Lord level. Innate secret technique, armor dissolution, effects. 1. Physical body strength increases infinitely. 2. Defense undergoes a qualitative change. Ordinary attacks completely fail to break defense, and those of the same rank can barely cause a scratch. 3. Divine body recovery accelerates. Metallic flesh has extremely strong self-healing, quickly repairing heavy injuries. Soul potential is preserved within the bloodline. After binding, the host's current soul strength and consciousness are retained, with no need for recultivation. Current binding is planetary level 2. The golden horned beast clone can gestate this blood core. After binding, the clone will automatically gestate a Yan God race bloodline Azure human body that is a 1-to-1 replica of the host's main body. The host can retain the original human body or switch to the Yan God race bloodline body at any time. The host is the true self, human body. Open black lens bracket note close black lens bracket. When the Yan God race bloodline produces offspring with females of low genetic potential, the difficulty of conception will increase significantly. It is recommended that the host prioritizes females with at least planetary-level genetic potential when choosing mates. Current blood core status, bindable. Yan Ning was stunned. Yan God race. A peak race of the universe. Just like the golden horned beast, they reach the peak of world lord level upon reaching adulthood. But unlike the golden horned beast, this was a human form bloodline, which meant he could possess both a human body and a Yan God race body as two main bodies. What was even more terrifying was that this blood core preserved soul potential. In other words, he didn't need to recultivate, didn't need to recomprehend secret techniques, and didn't need to reaccumulate combat experience. After binding, he would directly possess a Yan God race body with peak world lord potential that was synchronized with his main body. Yan Ning's voice trembled slightly. This is fucking too strong, isn't it? He quickly searched through the information about the Yan God race in the golden horned beast's legacy memories. Chapter 75, 12 consecutive resource draws, instant wealth. The Yan God race. Recognized by all top holy lands and powers in the universe as the fighting race. They have almost no rivals in physical body strength at the same stage. Their innate secret technique, armor dissolution, is a bug-level existence, making their physical body strength practically invincible. Although the Yan God race's prestige is only spread among a small circle of high-level powers, their bloodline power is not the least bit inferior to the starry sky behemoth, which is also a peak bloodline. Furthermore, the Yan God race is humanoid in form and will not be viewed as an alien race by the major powers in the universe. This meant that he could use his identity as a member of the Yan God race to walk the universe openly and honestly, without needing to hide. What's more, the system's Yan God race bloodline body, aside from its different bloodline, was essentially a second Yan Ning. It was all advantages with no downsides. Bind. Yan Ning did not hesitate for a second. A line of prompts popped up on the system panel. Open black lens bracket binding Yan God race blood core. Estimated time, 30 days. During the binding period, the golden horned beast clone will enter a gestation state and cannot fight. Please ensure the host's main body is safe. Close black lens bracket. 30 days. Acceptable. He glanced at the golden horned beast clone within his internal world. That pitch-black behemoth was lying within a mass of golden light. At the center of the light, a fist-sized blood core was slowly taking shape. That was the seed of the Yan God race bloodline. 30 days later, a brand new physical body with World Lord peak potential would be gestated from this seed. When the time comes, I will have dual peak bloodlines. Yan Ning couldn't suppress the grin on his face. With the golden horned beast plus the Yan God race, who in this Black Dragon Mountain Empire can still stop me? The 12 draws began. Yan Ning took a deep breath and calmed his emotions. One big gamble, draw them all at once. The pointer spun crazily across open black lens bracket material close black lens bracket, open black lens bracket technique close black lens bracket, open black lens bracket equipment close black lens bracket, and open black lens bracket other close black lens bracket. After spinning for a good while, it began to settle the rewards. Open black lens bracket critical hit reward close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket purple cloud water dew times 100 tons close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket description close black lens bracket. A universe rank heaven and earth treasure that can significantly improve a biological organism's genetic potential. Long-term consumption allows ordinary humans to gradually increase their aptitude to planetary level 1. It also has significant effects on martial artists above the planetary level. Yan Ning's pupils shrank violently. 100 tons. Not 100 grams, not 100 catties, but a freaking 100 tons. This stuff was enough for his wife and children to stack their genetic potential to the planetary level, and enough for his descendants to have a higher starting point from birth. Good stuff. Yan Ning suppressed his excitement and continued reading. Open black lens bracket critical hit reward close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Muya crystal times 66 close black lens bracket. 66 Muya crystals. These energy crystals were enough for his main body to rush from planetary level 2 to at least the planetary level peak, and enough for the cloud-caressing vine to eat until it was stuffed. Continue. Open black lens bracket critical hit reward close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket stellar stage spaceship times 1 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket description close black lens bracket. A grade C spaceship equipped with a basic warp drive, capable of light-year scale interstellar travel. It features an integrated intelligent optical computer preloaded with the universal star map. The ship's hull possesses stellar stage defensive power, capable of withstanding attacks below stellar stage 3. Yan Ning gasped. A stellar stage spaceship. Grade C. Capable of light-year scale interstellar travel. This thing was worth at least 2 to 5 billion Black Dragon coins. Moreover, this item came at the perfect time. The inheritance from the Wanxin clan required a spaceship to retrieve, greatly relieving Yan Ning's current urgent need. This is great. Again. Open black lens bracket critical hit reward close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket golden horned beast metal combination package times 1 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket description close black lens bracket. A metal package specifically designed for the golden horned beast, containing 18 rare metals including mystic frozen iron mother, crimson gold essence, and star sand, with a total weight of 10,000 tons. The energy density is over 100 times that of ordinary mystic cold iron, sufficient to support a golden horned beast in its breakthrough from planetary level 8 to stellar stage 1. Yan Ning almost jumped out of his chair. A golden horned beast breakthrough to the stellar stage. He was just worrying that the resources on Azure were insufficient, and the system directly sent a breakthrough package. 10,000 tons of rare metals, 18 types, with extremely high energy density. After the golden horned beast breaks through to the stellar stage, Yan Ning didn't dare to think further. A stellar stage golden horned beast, paired with the innate secret techniques of a universe peak bloodline, could at least walk sideways in the universe outside of this star system. Continue. Open black lens bracket critical hit reward close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket cloud caressing vine potential breakthrough green vine emerald fruit times 1 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket description close black lens bracket. A universe-rank spiritual object that allows a cloud-caressing vine to break through its bloodline limit, evolving from an ordinary cloud-caressing vine into a mutated Mo Yun Vine King. Its potential increases, and there is a certain probability of awakening evolving a random plant life talent ability upon breaking through to the universe rank. Yan Ning took a deep breath. The cloud-caressing vine was one of the earliest partners he obtained. It had followed him from the apprentice level all the way to now, but its initial potential was only at the stellar stage. If there were truly no other way, Yan Ning didn't want to abandon his old friend. He had planned to look for items to increase its bloodline limit after entering the universe. To his surprise, he hit the jackpot this time. And, breaking through to the universe rank with a chance to awaken, he couldn't help but look forward to it now. Mo Yun, oh Mo Yun, after many eras, will another true Mo Yun sovereign appear in this universe? Yan Ning muttered in his heart, filled with anticipation for the future. Continue. Open black lens bracket critical hit reward close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Jasper stone marrow times 6 close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket description close black lens bracket. Planetary level cultivation resource containing pure energy. It can significantly accelerate a planetary level martial artist's cultivation speed. Each portion of Jasper stone marrow is enough to let a planetary level martial artist increase by 1 stage within a month. 6 portions. Enough for his main body to rush from planetary level 3 to 9. It's enough, it's completely enough. Yan Ning's hands were shaking. Aside from the Muya crystals, the Jasper stone marrow alone was enough for Yan Ning to make many attempts. Conveniently, in 1 month, the Yan God race clone would be gestated and would require a large amount of cultivation resources. Again. Open black lens bracket normal reward settlement close black lens bracket. Stellar stage battle saber set ×2. Open black lens bracket settlement complete. Critical hit rewards include calculations for multiple draws, close black lens bracket. Ning began to take stock of his gains. Open black lens bracket core rewards close black lens bracket. 1. Yan God race bloodline human body blood core peak bloodline, world lord potential. 2. Stellar stage spaceship ×1 grade C, capable of interstellar travel. 3. Golden horned beast metal combination package ×1 enables breakthrough to stellar stage. 4. Cloud caressing vine potential breakthrough green vine emerald fruit ×1 evolution into Mo Yun vine king. Open black lens bracket cultivation resources close black lens bracket. 1. Purple cloud water dew ×100 tons improves genes can reach planetary level. 2. Muya crystal ×66 pure energy crystals. 3. Jasper stone marrow ×6 planetary level cultivation, 1 portion per stage. Open black lens bracket equipment close black lens bracket. 1. Stellar stage battle saber set ×2. I'm rich. Ning sat in the washroom, muttering to himself. I'm really rich. Is this what it feels like to be instantly wealthy? The password and account obtained from the Wanxin clan ruins, with 3 million universe coin, was indeed a huge sum, but its authenticity was uncertain. Furthermore, as a Ning with no background and no strength, he would have to be extremely cautious on his first trip into the universe, and he might not even be able to buy the things he wanted. But with the system in hand, the world was his. Ning composed himself and prepared to verify his gains. He took out a drop of purple cloud water dew from the system space. It was crystal clear and emitted a faint, refreshing fragrance. A single drop could improve an ordinary person's genes. For 110 tons, how many people would that be enough for? Enough for tens of thousands. The future of Azure. Ning clenched his fist. It's not just about surviving, it's about living better.